Monday, George Beniki is aching to make $1 million.
Nothing ventured, nothing gained, Eddie.
And Eddie's dying to give it away.
Let me channel it to you.
And the hits just keep on coming.
You won 32, 64, $125,000.
Until this.
Please put your hand up if you've got something going here.
An incident that could change the course of the game.
Have you seen that woman before ever?
Big money.
The top of the tree.
High drama.
Got nothing to lose here.
It's what Millionaire is all about. 8:30 Monday on Win.
New Smith's Crisps, Australia's favourite chip, now also in a flat cup.
To fight the 7 signs of aging, you could use a whole range of specialised products. Or just one, new Total Effects Plus. It doesn't just help fight all 7 signs of aging, it gives the benefits of your anti-aging moisturising routine. So you can love the skin you're in.
From little things, big things grow. 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 From little things, big things grow.
This AFL telecast, proudly brought to you by OG Robertson Co., your driving future, and Eddie's. Live it, love it, I like it.
Should be a superb match. It should be indeed. Michael, look forward to your comments throughout the afternoon. I noted with interest the survey this week that said the Fremantle Dockers have more female supporters than male supporters, and they lead the AFL in the percentage of females supporting their team. 52% of the audience here, Jared, are female.
How do you explain that, Clinton?
Purple is the new black.
Is it?
Well,
the purple hose.
They were reading into it, but they say that purple, green and white were the colours of those that fought for women's rights in the 1900s. Drawing a long bow, perhaps, who knows? But it's going to be a heck of a game. Peter Bell won the toss. The Dockers are heading to the left of screen. McFarlane's got the job on Carey to start. That's going to be one to watch with great interest. It will be Sandilands and Clark. It's a huge game. The Dockers with 1 win, the Crows without any. And it's Peter Bell charging through, going without the footy. Headland for Pavlich. Burton needs a big day. Riley. Good tying up tackle by Walker. Had his arm pinged, holding the ball.
Tyson Edwards is an interesting selection, starting his match up forward. Generally picks up Farmer.
Walker towards half forward. Hazelby was caught behind. Begley perhaps with the duties early. Andrew McLeod expecting a big game from he this afternoon, has had some pressure applied on him, and the Crows won't be happy with that attempt to go forward. It's out of bounds for a boundary throw-in. So some interesting matchups all around the ground. Hadrill, it is going with McGregor early as we await the boundary throw-in.
Gone in very tall in the forward line. Hadrill, Carey, Scott Stevens, and Welsh can take an overhead mark as well.
Boundary throw in. Massey runs onto the loose ball. Hand pass to Rashudo. Run down brilliantly by Hazelby. No free kick. Bodies go in. Free kick will go to Matthew Carroll. It's just taken high. And there's some willing bodies off the ball as well. Cook and Goodwin. Massey getting involved.
Well, they've been stung, the Crows. They have been poor in this opening 2 rounds, and the body language looks as if they're pretty willing. Mark Rashudo going head-to-head with Paul Hazelby. Should be a good battle.
Rather gingerly, Matthew Carr takes the football. Perhaps looking to lay it off, which he does. Grover sensing that Matthew Carr needs to come immediately off the ground, receives the hand pass, kicks inside 50, Waterhouse props in front, better judgment by Henschel, and he takes the mark, across to McLeod, in turn to Rashudo, a couple of experienced players getting involved early for Adelaide. Begley at half-back, wants to come inside with a kick, has to be precise. Walker got a hand in there, Bassett, little give, Riley goes to ground, he's caught again, going nowhere, tries to shovel it out, Sandilands at his bootstraps, across to Pavlich, assesses the options, beautiful spot up inside the 50, holding onto it now is Medhurst. He drills it home for the first of the afternoon. The Dockers have got there first.
You won't be buying someone else's problem when you purchase a vehicle from OGR's Used Car Centre. We're the largest certified back dealer in the southeast. This means we complete 100-point checks set by Holden. You also receive a 3-year, up to 175,000-kilometre mechanical protection at no extra cost. With GMAC financing, OGR will have you driving around in no time at all.
So much more than just a car. OGR, your driving future.
Dockers with the ideal start. Medhurst, the man early. 4 goals across the opening couple of rounds and a perfect start. 3 minutes in. Clark and Sandilands again, hit it the same way. Bell bumped off it by Goodwin. Rashudo, quiet with the virus last week. McGregor coming out from centre-half forward, taking the mark. A fraction too far out to score.
Stengline running with Pavlich.
Target is Carey, crashing through. Still a chance here for the Crows. Nice little balk by Scott Stevens. Kick across the face. Out of bounds on the full. A wasted chance there. Some question marks as to whether or not McGregor is indeed the man, as Grover takes the mark to be a forward in the Crows system. Graham Corn's writing in the Advertiser this week that he doesn't believe McGregor is the man. Now Parker on half-back. Taking some time, short for Bell. Stengline running with he. Releasing to centre half-back. Will they affect the switch to the outer side? This is Hadrell's got Cook short, goes to him in the middle, touched off the boot, but they're away. Cook goes down the line towards half-forward. Crows through big ones, have numbers. Elects to play on. Rashudo now has got John Cock wide.
On the wing, out of sight of the ground, Graham John Cock. Looks inside the 50, caught to play on now. Kicks long to a contest. Carey, surrounded by Fremantle players. Best judgment there. Over the side, mark taken by Polak. Across to Pavlich. Has a bounce. Cruises through the defensive 50. Hard on a lead was Simmons. Charges at it. Comes off his chest. At the spill was Hazelby. Walker the target, Riley with the pressure, loose ball to be won here, Fremantle with a run at it, going to ground was Headland, Riley charges in. If nothing else, he's put his body on the line in the opening minutes of this first quarter at Subiaco. The Dockers with the goal off the boot of Paul Medhurst.
It's not going to last long given Chris Connolly's rotation, so I'll spit it out early. McLeod is running with Headland, which is an interesting matchup. Hazelby and Rashudo, as we said, Stengline and Pavlich, and Goodwin and Cook. They look as if the Crows have come over here and said, we'll take them on man, and we'll see if we can stay man on man for as long as possible. And it's Peter Bell. He is also running with Tyson Stengline.
They will be nothing if not desperate today, the Crows, as Pavlich backs himself to run away, finds Waterhouse, it opens up to Clyde. Can he seal the deal? Not quite. A let off for the Crows. Let's check in downstairs with Michael Thompson.
News on Matthew Carr, not good. He was in quite a deal of pain. He fell awkwardly on his right ankle. He's now gone down to the change rooms where it will be strapped and they'll assess it from there. But not good news early for the Dockers.
Early pressure for the Adelaide Crows. Begley, good spot up to Riley. Running past was the captain, Rashudo. Drives a long ball. Stevens gets rid of his man, Polak, and Polak was caught with a runner in between. Kick inside the 50. The spoil came. Hadrell in trouble. The loose ball. Burton's there, Edwards on his hands and knees. Welsh gets it away to Rashudo, who's been very busy. Burton, chain of hand passes. Riley's kick, ill-directed. McManus with the white boots. Dime a dozen nowadays.
He still turned down Brooke Burke, though.
Hadrell across to Grover. Peter Bell off the left boot. Walker has to slide. Waterhouse in support. The Dockers combining well. Clive runs into trouble. Good enough to get it to Walker. Needs support. Gets it from Cook. First game for the season. Broke his ankle in round 22. Might still be a bit sore after looking at that kick. Going to ground was Medhurst. Over the football, Burton. McLeod not moving as well as we've seen him previously. Medhurst's kick was untidy. Cook working hard. Medhurst in a phone booth. Tries to work his way out of trouble. McLeod with the pressure. Cook gets a second chance. Hurriedly onto the boot. Inside the 50. Sliding mark not taken by Massey. Now he's wrapped up and the umpire calls for it.
Well, the runner out to Andrew McLeod, just talking positional play. And Troy Cook looks sharp. He has picked the pocket of his teammates a couple of times, grabbing early possessions.
McLeod has a terrific history against the Dockers. Remember, he was overlooked by the Dockers. Ended up at the Adelaide Crows, and the rest is a very successful history. Hazelby for Pavlich. Out of one, out of two. Sandilands hooks it high from 45. Bassett, the only man there, hoping it'll go out of bounds on the full. It doesn't, and now he'll be regretting the chance to not take the mark because it's a boundary throw-in. Look at the Dockers bench. It will be used often across the course of the afternoon. A hot one here in Perth.
What's the world record, Clinton?
55. Held by C. Connolly, coach of the Dockers. Boundary throw in. Sandilands clever. Hazelby goes without it. McLeod. Rashudo under pressure off the side of the boot towards the boundary. Bounce important. The big men there to do the roving perhaps. Biglands lets his teammate Henshaw gather. Back for Biglands. Now he can keep going here. Grover's caught in two minds. Elects to go towards him. So Burton frees up on the wing. Now Carey wants it long. Goes shorter than that to Stevens. Marks 55 out. Edwards provides the lead. Goes to him. Edwards in front. McManus the pressure. Gets his way in front and takes a wonderful juggling mark.
Kick wasn't great, but I think we've seen just in a couple of times today some real positives for Scott Stevens.
Loose ball inside the centre square. Sting line, hand pass intercepted. Pollack was taken without the football. And will take the free kick. No one standing on the mark. As a result, Shammer. His kick was partially smothered. The Crows with the run of the football. They've got numbers at half back. Hand pass comes from Goodwin to Burton across midfield. Riley in space, out of sight of the ground. They work it methodically towards half forward. Tyson Edwards takes on Hadrell, wants to come inside, puts the ball to the ground, 45 metres out. And the Crows with their first sorting forward with any conviction, a minor score.
He's dangerous up there in the goal square, Tyson Edwards. He's kicked multiple goals on numerous occasions. Probably known as more of a defender come midfielder, but has an ability around the sticks.
The kick-in was not great from Parker, and Johncock read it superbly. Can shoot on goal. Decides to go backwards to Massey. 75 out. Untidy kick. The bounce wasn't kind for Carey. Edwards is going nowhere. Gang tackled by Parker and McManus. And we'll have a ball up. 6-point lead. The Fremantle Dockers. The first goal of the match. Clark nicely sat down to Johncock. Weaves a passage. Throws it on the boot. It's tight. The umpire makes a lot of ground to his right-hand side, but Graham Johncock somehow got through the Dockers' defence there. Unfortunately, couldn't convert.
Making a lot of ground, Mark, because they've got to be spot on now, don't they, after the way this round started seemingly eons ago back in Brisbane on the Thursday night. A couple of contentious ones as Walker receives from the kick-in. Dockers electing to go short, just chip it around.
We saw last night in Sydney just how costly missed kicks in this defensive half can be. Probably cost you long the match.
Yeah, if you're going to go short, you've got to be precise, and that wasn't from Walker with Massey taking the mark. The Cats with some 40 more marks than Sydney last night. Massey to Rashudo, going long, going direct to Carey. Has a couple to beat McFarlane Nilly. Not quite. At ground level, Stevens putting the pressure on. Is that out on the full? No, we'll have a boundary throw in. Good signs for the Crows, but now have to break through with a goal. Another look at how it went out of bounds. Sandilands and Clark locking arms, engaging in an ugly wrestle. At some stage, a free will be plucked out. Not here. Sandilands down. Edwards finds an opening. Rashudo, the skipper, fires a goal. Hits the post. Crows peppering. Their return now 3 behind.
Gary Erzurby he'd be delighted with the work rate being shown, particularly by his senior players. Mark Rashuda having a great start. Edwards also. A couple of defenders also doing particularly good jobs.
Rashudo, 8 possessions already.
Bell with the kick in duties finds Headland. This last week with an ankle injury. That's a forward kick. McGregor accepts the mark. Here's Rashudo for possession number 9. He spot Edwards. He stretches, got hand on it. Unfortunately, couldn't rake it in. Let's go boundary side to Michael Thompson.
Thanks, Mark. Matthew Carr is back and running. Boots are back on. Still in some degree of discomfort, but expecting to be back on the track reasonably soon.
Low start by the Crows, but they're pressing midway through this opening term. Third man up was Stingline. McManus couldn't control it. Edwards, open goal, slides through, gets the goal. The Crows are in front.
Creating your dream bedroom is simple with distinctive furniture from Eddie's. Inspirational designs that capture the imagination. Every piece both functional and stylish. Crafted from quality materials with attention given to the smallest of details. For bedrooms to create that special atmosphere, visit Eddie's. Open every day. 220 Commercial Street East, Mt Gambier.
Crows by a couple of points. So Farmer out. He'll be picked up by Begley. Playing his first game for the season for the Crows. Simmons now with Clark in the middle. Clark belts the Crows forward. Walker in off the line. Dumped by Stengline. Good tackle. Goodwin to McLeod. Out of the middle, the Crows going all right at the moment. McGregor in front of Hadrill. Hadrill now gets his way in front. Riley. It's a hot footy early, and we'll have a bounce. Half forward for the Crows.
Well, we're going to have a great match because the Crows have really come to play. Their attack on the ball has been enormous, and we saw that dumping tackle in the middle, meaning every time they get a chance to get a scalp, they're going to take it.
Winning it down, Simmons. Clark dragged off it by Pavlich. Cook out wide. Will it give over the top for Hadrill? Back to Hayden. Pavlich running it out. Grover. Are they going to come unstuck? They might. Handball towards Pavlich. Crows now with numbers. Rashudo quickly. John Cock. Boot to ball. Inside 50. McGregor charging out after it. The bounce was kind. Hand pass over the top for Stengline. Carey wants it long. Pops it up. Carey coming out. He's in front. Oh, with courage. Polak. Terrific grab going back. Why would you blame it centre-half forward, Mark? He's a backman, isn't he? Well, he kicks like one.
He does. John Cock gathers a loose ball. He gets a second chance. He needs to find the boundary, or indeed a behind rush, that is, but we've got a ball up on the edge of the goal square almost.
Well, in the last 10 minutes, we've seen 2 key defenders for the Dockers go back and take great marks with the flight of the ball. Luke McFarlane, we saw take a one-handed beauty. And then, of course, Graham Polak just emphasising the talent and the courage that they've got.
Did fear for his safety as he ran back with the fight of the football. Welsh, Carey getting involved there, and somehow a free kick has been plucked out of that, and Luke McFarlane is the recipient. Called to play on now. Pavlich hard up against the goal line to Bell. Draws the man. The Dockers out of trouble now through Hazelby. At half back, Waterhouse is the target. Hard on the lead. Terrific pass and strong hands by Clyde. By Waterhouse. Just racking up his 100th game.
He's got a problem. He has to go short because Simon Goodwin is just lurking across the half-back line by himself.
Hazelby releases Pavlich. A long ball. The Crows, as Gerard said, with the numbers. Spills to the back. Grover, the defender. He teases and he pleases the Dockers fans. Anthony Grover kicks a rare goal.
Keeping up with busy people today is made easier with help from Hutchison's. Cordless phones, great for the busy person at home or work. Outdoors, in the factory or on the water, UHF radios keep you in touch. Of course, Hutchison's, your local Telstra dealer, can keep you up to date with the ultimate range of funky modern mobile phones and accessories to suit your lifestyle.
Hutchison's Communications Centre, where the ones trust for the best communications. Talk to us.
So that he now goes to the quarter-time break on top.
7th goal in the career of Anthony Grybas. Kicked just 2 last season, and in his first game for this year, he's halfway there already.
Loose man in defence for Adelaide. Bigland's by himself. Farmer and Medhurst, the only 2 forwards.
Bounce favouring the Crows. That's the first game of Ben Hudson out there. We'll tell you a little about him a little later. He's got a good story. Grybas kicking the Dockers forward, but Bigland's loose man back there takes the mark.
And in a small forward setup, you just can't blaze away. You've got to kick into space and allow those smalls to run onto it.
The emergency umpire Craig Hendry out there you saw with Carey and McFarlane as that kicks a shocker out of bounds on the full. Well, almost an unforgivable mistake there from Stenglein. Carr's got it on the wing. Alex just to chip it short, dangerous. Stenglein, early chance for atonement, not quite. Bell now kicks very wide. The lead is on from Pavlich, and he's got it. Tight angle, will kick from just on the 50. Not all that dissimilar position to when Jeff Farmer beat the Crows last year with that last-minute goal, which we showed you earlier.
He too started particularly well. He's been involved in a couple of very creative moves forward. This one will test him. Distance will be fine. I reckon that the on this sort of angle, the accuracy will be well down.
All-Australian fullback in 2002, half-forward flank in 2003. Where are you going to put him this year, Jared?
Let's see if he kicks his goal.
Left half forward, 50 out. Dockers looking for their 3rd. Pavlich, not quite. Missing to the near side. Maybe back to the back line. 2-2 plays 1-3. Halfway through this opening term. In fact, a little advanced of that. Gone 18 minutes.
Kick in. Slightly dangerous of Bassett. Had to go back with the flight of the football. Took it safely in the end. Chipping it out of defence. Burton. Very versatile. Kicked 4 goals. Around 16 against the Dockers here at Subiaco in that 1-point defeat. To the wing. Rashudo been terrific in this first quarter. Bell, important tap to Hazelby. Cunningham juggles back to Bell. Stenglein with terrific pressure was grabbed without it, the Fremantle captain. Perhaps a little fortuitous.
Yeah, I think he just helped the umpire make the decision. Great move by Hazelby though. Just there'd be a few players shorter than Mark Rashudo who could push him off the ball, and it was just him creating that contest that allowed the Dockers to get another crack at it.
Outside the 50, this would take Peter Bell's very best effort, I'd suggest. They open the forward line up. Kicks to the pocket. Sliding. The effort by Medhurst was terrific, but couldn't complete it. Burton happy to escort it over. They've got a throw in.
Well, that was a real double act. You had Farmer cutting across Medhurst's man going up the middle, and then Medhurst coming around the back. And he should have swallowed that last shot, that last mark.
Some big names in our top 5 with disposal getters. Mark Rashudo leading the way. Goodwin off to Burton. A high ball, 2-on-1. Riley outnumbered. Did okay, but Carr claims the mark. The umpire said there were 4 hands on that one. As a result, we'll have a ball up. Which is a terrific result for the Adelaide Crows. So Riley did his job on that occasion. Simmons down the throat of Henschel. Cross to McLeod. The target is McGregor. Working him off the football was Hadrell, who gets back first. The hand pass intended for Parker. Kept his feet. Wants to come inside. Gee, they've got some room now. Paul Hazelby at half-back for Fremantle can go a long, long way.
Has Cunningham in support if he wanted him. Elects to go back for McManus. Now they can go through Shammer. He'll elect to give it on to the aforementioned Cunningham. 60 out. Kicks direct towards the hot spot. Medhurst the target. Burton provides the spoil. Biglands goes without it. Opens the door for Bell. Now Walker on the 50, about to be caught. Under enormous pressure, gets it away. Crows standing up. Burton hurries it towards the boundary line, hoping for the line. Otherwise, Hazelby will set the Dockers up again. He will. Loose men everywhere short. Elects to go longer to the pocket. Getting in front, Headland. Knocked away from Medhurst. Good tackle, Medhurst on Burton. Bassett for Begley, for Henschel. Now Goodwin under pressure. Bangs it away towards the wing. McManus reading it well. Traps it initially. Good job. Goes to ground under pressure. Handball though stolen by Edwards. Still a hot footy. Walker a wonderful tackle. Held in. Umpire Margate says we'll have a bounce.
You've got to get him prior though, mate.
It was a great tackle by James Walker. Geez, the ball's been hot the last 3 or 4 minutes.
4 minutes from quarter time. Dockers 2-2. Crows 1-3. The ruckman palm it the same way. Pavlich, here's Hudson, getting it out. Goodwin, Walker, scramble, going nowhere initially with Shoeback in there as well. Umpire letting them play here.
I gave it a chance, didn't go anywhere.
He did give it a chance.
Interestingly, Matthews' comments after the match on Thursday night suggesting that ruck work had just deteriorated into an uncontrolled mess.
I said on 3AW that you would be happy to hear him say that, because you've been a great advocate of that.
I think it's pretty messy.
Henschel. Goodwin. Now they can go. Shoeback from the wing to try and launch the Crows forward. Oh, Polak again coming out. Couldn't trap it. Gives Stevens a chance. Good gather by Stevens. High one. They're giving Carey plenty of options. He's in front. He's bumped out of it by McFarlane fairly. And McFarlane takes the mark. The Dockers will rebound.
Luke McFarlane getting the better of Carey. Of course, the champ had Mel Michael last week, so he's copying some good defenders back to back. The kick finds Simmons. Wants to lay it off to Parker, who's loose. Now called to play on. Parker has to wait. Hazelby in support. Back to Parker, racking up possessions to Simmons. Back to where we started. Left half back. Running hard at the man was Riley. Affects the spoil. And the interchange bench continues to roll on.
They're just over possessing the ball, and they've changed. Ruckman have the Dockers, and Darren Sandilands comes up. Ruck work used to be known as art. Now, I suspect if it's still art, it's very much finger painting.
It's abstract.
One by 3-year-old twins. As we suspect, the ball comes to the back without a ruckman touching it. John Cock, bouncing ball. Edwards been busy. Wheels onto his right boot. Swings it back to the goal line. Carey once again can't get his hand on the football. And McFarlane doing a terrific job in the last line of defence. For 12 months against Carlton, Luke McFarlane has been terrific since being pinched from Hawthorn by the Dockers. Hudson and Sandilands. Cook can't free the arms. Eventually he does. Watch out, McManus. Wayne Carey had you in his sights. Hadroll accosted Cook. First came back, has been terrific in this opening quarter. Has a couple of bounces and sends Fremantle towards the wing.
Waterhouse, the target, takes the mark. Well-weighted ball for him. Down to 2 minutes remaining in the opening term. Waterhouse to half forward. Medhurst on a long lead against Bassett. Gave him a nudge about 5 metres before it arrived. Pops it in front of Headland. The bounce not kind for Des, and John Cock was back there quickly. That was impressive. Goes to midfield for Hudson. The big man, the first gamer at 25 no less, takes the mark. Feeds it out wide. Now McLeod gliding through midfield. On the left towards half forward. Carey won't get there. Hayden in front takes the mark. The match being played between the midfields at the moment. 3 goals only. Hayden for Pavlich. Now the Dockers can go. Down the centre corridor he runs. 2 bounces. Goal square's unguarded. Goes long. Medhurst will run onto it. Off the ground perhaps. Tried to pick it up. Bassett brought down. Free kick. No. Boundary throw in. Free kick count running 5-0 in favour of the Dockers.
Well, that's 2 shots in 2 minutes, or 2 potential shots for the Dockers that they just haven't been able to convert because of an errant bounce or lack of ball control, whichever way you read it.
Boundary throw in. Dockers deep in attack. Minute 13 remaining. Sandilands here against the first gamer. Both ruckmen miss it. Sandilands good second effort. Troy Longmuir back in the side. Got the handball away. Hudson under pressure. Kicks for the boundary line. Clever. We'll have a throw in.
The ice vests have been brought out this afternoon. Warm conditions, around 25, 26 degrees. Mark Rashudo, who reportedly was ill last week at Amy Stadium, I think a well-earned breather.
Strange they've got Rashudo and Goodwin off at the same time.
A minute remaining in this first term. Sandilands hooks it behind. Taken by John Cock. The ball was touched off boot. That's why Pavlich gave it straight to Troy Longmuir. Trying to nudge his man under the ball there was Medhurst. Unsuccessful. Bassett takes the mark. Clears it to Burton. The Crows with a chance to score in the dying seconds of this opening term. The run supplied by Gallagher. Drop punt. Carey charges out. Has it 55 out. With 30 seconds on the clock. Carey to a central position. Tyson Edwards presents himself. Strong mark out in front of his face. He's been somewhat of a revelation in this forward line in the opening term, and Tyson Edwards will kick, I'd suggest, just on the siren to give the Crows a quarter-time lead.
Well, it was a great pass by Wayne Carey. In fact, it was a good movement for the ball from right in defence through to the forward line. And it's those half opportunities that the Dockers haven't been able to convert that means that if this one goes through, the Crows will be very much a competitive force, taking the lead to quarter time.
Low-scoring opening turn from Subiaco, kicking into a slight breeze. The Adelaide Crows have got the lead at the first break. Tyson Edwards gets the goal, and the Crows by a point at quarter time at Subiaco, needing a victory after 2 successive losses. The Crows making a pretty good start here at Subiaco.
Certainly have. It's a warm one, and it's going to be a hot afternoon on the field, you would suggest, although a short opening quarter good for the Crows, just 26 minutes. Second term coming up next.
The 2004 Premiership season, proudly presented by OG Robertson Co., your driving future, and Eddie's. Live it, love it, I like it.
Win's AFL 2004. Here's where you'll catch all the action. On Friday nights, tune to Win SA. Every Saturday, it's all on the new Win 10. And Sunday, same as Friday on Win SA. Win's AFL 2004 on Win SA and Win 10.
Going once, going twice. Sold by Elders VP. Trust in Elders' expert knowledge and experience in the local rural market to assure you of the best price and advice for all your livestock and wool sales. Specialists in weekly auctions of cattle and sheep, wool sales, on hooks, on farm and private sales, live export and forward contracting of all prime livestock. Trust in Elders to get results. Elders VP, servicing the rural industry since 1839.
Yamaha is the undisputed powerhouse in four-wheelers, bringing you a range that boasts the heaviest hitters in the world with no-nonsense, reliable, hard-working features. No other utility ATVs can match their grunt and payload capacity. Yamaha four-wheelers will propel you from job to job with less effort and in less time. For the complete rundown on a Yamaha ATV, see Carl at Caldecott Motors in King, Kelly at Narracourt Motorcycles and Mowers, and Tim at Blue City Motorcycles.
Now remember, we had to go back to Trident to get the fishing gear.
That you forgot.
Yeah, but we hit the road, that was fine, till we got the flat, skidded out, and then I skidded out. But lucky Terry at Trident, he talked us into getting the air compressor.
Yeah, that comes in handy for all sorts of things.
Gee whiz, it was muddy that day, wasn't it?
Yeah, of course, you had to get us bogged.
Yeah, but the winch, that was the lifesaver for that one, wasn't it?
Yep.
But lucky for Trident, otherwise we'd have never made it fishing at all. I wonder if they sell fire extinguishers.
Pilkington, first in class, they get the job done, you can't go past Pilkington, first in class.
Widen your horizons and enjoy the great outdoors indoors with Stacker Doors from Pilkington Glass. Manufactured from action and strength and durability, Pilkington Stacker Doors offer simple good looks and style with security and peace of mind.
Pilkington, first in glass. When you drive, it's good to know there's a friend along the road. The great Australian's right beside you everywhere you go. K&S Ampol, a great Australian friend. K&S Ampol, we're with you till the journey's end. K&S Ampol, a great Australian friend.
When you need to know. Local stories, local people, local issues. Rely on the region's only dedicated local news service. More local news than any other source. With stories you won't see anywhere else. Win News, weeknights at 6 and 11:30. Returning soon to Win. 4 new couples in an all-new series. Jamie Jury presents The Block. Coming soon to Win.
of the afternoon so far. That rolling goal from Anthony Grover, leaving a situation like that at quarter time. The Crows marginally 2-3 to 2-2. The Edwards-McManus matchup, a beauty at the moment. Tyson Edwards with a couple of goals. Mark Rasciuto already more possessions in this match than he had for the entire afternoon against Brisbane last week when he was struck down by Gastro. Burton and Johncock each doing well. Pavlich with 10 touches and Cook 9 for the Dockers as we check in boundary side with Michael Thompson.
Thanks very much, Clinton. Interesting, Fremantle handling the heat better than what Adelaide are. Adelaide are using the ice vest regularly off the bench and out in the middle now. Though Coach Garrier is pretty happy with that first quarter. Just wants them to convert a little better. Very happy with Tyson Edwards' effort. The message from the Dockers is a simple one. We're working the ball well into the midfield. Let's convert better once we get across the half-forward line.
All right, thanks, Michael. Standing in the shadow of the light tower there, the Adelaide Crows. Remember the Hawks doing that first at the Gabba all those years ago, and there was a howling cry about the psychological edge that it gave the Brisbane team at the time, but you fancy it's just common sense. One match already completed today, the Port Adelaide and Hawthorn match. We've got replays scheduled on various stations, so if you don't want to know the score just yet and treat the match later on as live, look away now. Supporter of one club there, look away for the rest of the season perhaps. Crows by a point here at Subiaco. Edwards with the goals for Adelaide in the opening term. Pavlich to start in the centre. Jared?
Yes, he's had a great start in the middle, but I think the issue for the Dockers has been their forward structure. They've tried to go with the shortish forward line in the first quarter. Didn't work. A couple of chances for both, and particularly Meadows to take the big jump, but didn't come off. But they've got Simmons and Waterhouse there at the moment.
Yeah, without Justin Longmuir today, a rare demotion played in the WAFL last week as Sandilands sets up Bell to give the Dockers the clearance. Simmons charging out, big ones with the heavy tackle on him. Goodwin gets pushed in the back. No whistle there. And we'll have a bounce at centre half forward for the Dockers. Can almost hear KG and Cornsey saying, where was the free there? It's zipped 5 against the free kick count.
They had a point on that occasion, I thought.
Centre half forward for the Dockers, trailing by a point. They need a victory here as much as the Crows do, just about after their loss in Sydney last week. Heading to the Telstra Dome to play Collingwood next week. Hayes will be out of the pack. Can he get it on? Yes, he can. Grover for another no. Good weight pressure. Here's Farmer in the pocket. The flashy boots running out of room. Begley disciplined and Gallagher. And a free kick going Adelaide's way. There is their first. Begley will take it. It's gone against Farmer.
Across the face of goals, a little dangerously. Waterhouse, pressure on Burton. The Adelaide Crow good enough to recover and kick towards the half-back flank. Chasing after that was Stevens. He was taken illegally too high. Scott Stevens to a one-on-one. Parker with the spoil. Dockers pump it forward. Grover been busy. McLeod. Toe pokes at about 45 metres. Here comes Rasciuto. Long ball. Carey didn't have to break stride. And finally, Wayne Carey breaks free of Luke McFarlane.
That was just brilliant play from the Crows. They're under the heat early in the quarter, the opening minutes or so, and they've been able to resist and get the ball so quickly into Wayne Carey. And he was pretty keen to get that extra metre as well. Maybe it'll make the difference.
7-time All-Australian for Ferriston Bess with the Kangaroos. We're outside 50. Viciously hooking that one, looking for that extra distance, as Gerard suggested. And at the first score for the Crows of this second quarter.
Chris Connolly will have to increase his stroke rate. Clinton currently just under world record pace at 12 interchange in their first quarter.
Well, as they tire later, maybe that'll pick up. Hand roll for Parker in the back pocket. 55 is Chris's target today. Parker taking some time. Not a whole lot of fluency about the Dockers game at the moment. Johncock's doing well, just hedging off McManus. He's on the right of your screen. Now a risky ball unless it's precise, which it is, back to Hadrell.
Interesting matchup through midfield. McLeod just running, it appears, with Hazelby at the moment, getting plenty of space.
The former #1 draft pick, headwind for Grover under some pressure. Good challenge provided by Burton. Now Welsh, Carey's on, chips to him. Carey in front, has he got it? No, met solidly by Hendrell. Crows away though, here's a chance. Burton elects to go himself to
towards the goal square, and with courage, Hayden getting back, takes the mark. And that might have been wiser perhaps to weigh that one off as Hayden to McManus. He's off, he's off. You hear the call. Elects to square it up. That's okay. Finds McMahon, but the Dockers, the Dockers under some pressure here.
The Wayne Carey is up. He came down from a pretty big height and hit the ground.
To the wing, the Crows through Riley had the numbers, but Pavlich somehow got hold of the football. Hazelby back to Pavlich. Broadcast side to the 50. Waterhouse front position, couldn't take it. Loose ball comes to Begley. Bassett taken immediately. Walker across to Bell. Hazelby from the 50 spots a man loose. He's got it. Edlin. He's got a couple inside. Almost the goal square. He spots one now, and getting back into loose space and taking an uncontested mark is Troy Simmons. It opened up very quickly once Matthew Pavlich got involved on centre wing and exposed the Crows pretty quickly. Troy Simmons kicked a couple of goals against the Sydney Swans last week. Just 4 goals kicked in this match so far in what could only be termed as ideal conditions, although a little warm. This to give the Dockers the lead. The reaction from behind the goals tells the story. Bad miss by Simmons. And it's a 1-point ball game. The Adelaide Crows with their nose in front.
There's Hedlund being too team orientated there, wasn't he? 35 out, told to pass it off, so he did. Would have been better having the shot directly in front. Begley to a contest from the kick in. Goodwin did well in the tackle. Burton, now they can go. Gallagher, McLeod. Oh, he's got a panic in front of him. Away you go, Andrew. Oh, ran his full measure. Was thinking about a second bounce. Goes along, McManus in front. Spoiled by his teammate Hadrell. And now they're in some pressure. McManus got to get it out.
You got your hand on it as well, Tyson.
We'll have a bounce.
No, you got it there. Didn't see there. I was watching the ball come down the players. Thanks, Sean.
Top of the goal square for the Crows. Quick transfer from defence to attack there. Now, can Clark set somebody up? He's up against Sandilands. Clark himself, perhaps. Will Pollack can see to behind, he does.
I just have to get a better understanding between Sean McManus. I'm not sure who the other Docker was coming back, but they had 2 players that could have taken a chest mark had there been some talk, and that they nearly destroyed it and gave the Crows an easy goal.
Admiral to McManus in the back pocket.
You there, Wayne? Thanks. No, he's there.
And meanwhile, the Crows with some concern for Simon Goodwin. We'll get Michael Thompson to keep us posted. Hedlund now deep in the defensive zone. This is a stop-start football game here. Hedlund now being told to get a move on. Kicks to a contest. Crows half a chance. Rashudo strong in front. Hazelby did well. McLeod swoops. Well done. Burton in front of Rashudo. The bounce kind. The hand pass off. Steadying is Gallagher. Goes for home. Has he got it? No. Across the face. The team that takes their chances today, well, they're going to be hard to beat. 2-6 to 2-3.
It's a great battle, though, going on in midfield. Almost to a man there. They are staying with their opponent, and we're getting plenty of one-on-one battles. And we just saw another one there of Rashudo and Hazelby battling it out overhead. Rashudo with the height advantage, but Hazelby certainly talented in that area.
Concern for Simon Goodwin on the bench. Being carted off the field. Parker finds Hazelby.
It's a critical blow for them too, Mark, because it's their midfield that has really been giving them some drive.
Peter Bell missed the mark. Untidy kick floating across from the side was Burton. They do look less than 100% in themselves at the moment, the Fremantle Dockers, although that kick was not intended for Hazelby. And they have another chance to build from half back. Across to Bell. The kick made Sandilands stretch, but he handled it pretty well. The hand pass was chopped off. Bell goes again to Walker. Across down to the run of Carr with a bounce. And a second. Can have a third. He does that. Wants to lay it off to Waterhouse. 55 out. Tries to get past Bassett. Corrals him pretty well. Left foot kick towards the top of the square. Mark taken by Simmons. But it all started back when Peter Bell got involved a couple of times in the space of 15 seconds.
Yeah, that was pure genius from Peter Bell. He gave it to Sandlands initially, and the big fellow tried to look away, didn't quite come off, and Bell, he was under enormous pressure and flicked one out, hit the target, kept the flow going. So Simmons has another shot at goal from a slightly better angle than last.
This then to give the Fremantle Dockers the lead in the second quarter. Once again, the umpire makes some ground to his right-hand side, but on this occasion, it's good enough.
Creating your dream bedroom is simple with distinctive furniture from Eddie's. Inspirational designs that capture the imagination. Every piece both functional and stylish. Crafted from quality materials with attention given to the smallest of details. For bedrooms to create that special atmosphere, visit Eddie's. Open every day. 220 Commercial Street East, Mt Gambier.
Simmons the finish, Bell the setup, Dockers the lead. That's the story. 4 lead changes this afternoon. It's like the final quarter of Essendon and West Coast last night, albeit not quite as frenetic. There's a hit out. Clark getting it forward. Good second effort. Was that a throw by Stevens? No, it was all right. Rashudo a high one to half forward. McGregor underneath it. Just a nice gentle nudge from Hadrell.
It probably was, but the umpire, Kieran Nichols, rightly pointed out he couldn't see contact. He would have had to guess.
Hadrell kicks it out on the full. Target was Hazelby. Stenglein will take the free. Let's check in with Michael Thompson.
Simon Goodwin, the guys, he's in a great deal of pain. Looks like his right thigh, inner right thigh. They're getting some treatment now. He was in a lot of discomfort when he came off, and maybe the last time we see him today.
Crows go forward. Here's John Cock on the 50. They were lucky to get away with it after a poor Rashudo kick. That's not a good effort from John Cock. Carey doubling back. Hayden there against him. Carey does well, forcing it out. Might end up with a goal. John Cock steadies, goes for home, hits the post. Crows second poster. They are not making Fremantle pay.
Well, Anthony Grybas would be sighing with relief because he just dropped an unbelievable chest mark. In fact, it nearly knocked him over. Didn't get any hands on it at all to cushion the blow.
Hadrell chipping wide. Parker. Now looking, going long. There's a rarity to a contest. Sandilands and Clark. Clark the easy spoil from behind. Bell charging through. Lays it off for McManus. They'll effect the switch. Headland will run down against Smart. A little soccer off the ground. Ball spinning like a top. Headland the second, the third effort forced over. And a boundary throw in just to the Crows attacking side. Right below us with the Dockers leading by 2 points.
Des Headland is one player that needs to find some footy if he's to have an influence on the first half. With McLeod at the moment, he's only had 4 touches.
Sandilands, hands on it. Farmer with nowhere to go. Begley no further than a step or 2 away. And Jeffrey, that's a little cheeky. Just trying to de-stride James Begley as they run back to position. Ball back in motion. Sandilands slaps it forward. McLeod. Bouncing ball. Lays it off now. Henschel measures the pass. Smart. Almost turning 35, believe it or not. The Adelaide Crows veteran. Rashudo. Picks out Bassett. Crows working it forward. Just shy of half forward. Ball to go now is Bassett. Kicks long to a contest. Carey very easily nudged out of position, but it was illegal. Luke McFarlane looks to the heavens. The umpire indicating quite clearly there the nudge came to the back of Wayne Carey.
It's been interesting watching Anthony Grybas just trying to cope with the endurance of Brett Burton. Grybas took Burton down to the goal square, and Burton has just made a big charge, and Grybas given up the chase to some degree.
An extraordinary man of the size of Wayne Carey would go down like that, but he hits back very well with a goal and gives Luke McFarlane a smile.
You won't be buying someone else's problem when you purchase a vehicle from OGR's Used Car Centre. We're the largest certified back dealer in the southeast. This means we complete 100-point checks set by Holden. You also receive a 3-year, up to 175,000-kilometre mechanical protection at no extra cost. With GMAC financing, OGR will have you driving around in no time at all.
So much more than just a car. OGR, your driving future.
We continue to go. Carey's first, putting the Crows back on top.
Pavlich with Biglands, just playing that position 35 metres out from goal.
Simmons takes it himself, but lurking back there is Burton. Just going to chip it out to the wing. That's effective for Riley. Hoping for a big season after injury inflicted last year, just the 6 games. Massey with a soccer off the ground. McGregor tackle. Finds a little bit of space. Massey to run onto it. An effective soccer off the ground. Lands in the arms of Wayne Carey, who is now causing some concern for the Fremantle Dockers. Now can he do it from right half forward? Clever play from Chris Massey. Wayne Carey, the virtues of being in front, much to McFarlane's chagrin. To the City end goal. Carey for his second. Not quite. 1 goal, 2 is returned. Crows inaccurate. 3 goals, 8 plays 3-3. The Dockers on the bench enjoying the shade. Adderall now taking some time. Well, that's a risky option. A 1-on-2 in front. Stevens. Loose men screaming, pleading for it at centre-half forward. Massey and McGregor. He'll take McGregor. The kick, though, held up. And the Dockers affect the spoil. Walker, Bells, Simmons, Hazelby paddles it in front of himself. McLeod is quick. Oh, he does well to cut it off. And now defence into attack for the Crows. Stenglein shaped a handball. Feeds it on. Stevens too far out. Good pressure, Pollack. Boundary throw-in. Boy, it's tough to get clear possessions today.
James Walker, you had to tip your lid to him. He was 4 players outgunned by 4 Crows players, and he just got there in time to spoil and reduce what should have been a shot at the goal.
He is quick. Best time of 10.87 over the 100. Could be a stall tomorrow for the Easter gift. Bombers releasing one of their rookie list players to compete. Now a chance. Henschel, 55 out, goes short. Carey again. He's done it again. Oh boy, is Wayne Carey responding to all the criticism of he during the course of the week, and he's having now his 4th shot at goal in this quarter, which is only 16 minutes old.
Well, a couple of things have happened for him today. Mainly he's been allowed to stay close to goal, but in addition to that, he has been given a couple of chances. But in addition, the midfielder getting the ball in there. The
midfielder, and there's good space for him.
The midfielder starting to give him some supply. No full forward can fire if the ball's coming in haphazardly and blokes are dropping back on him.
Now, he's had a sighter. Slightly better angle. Should kick it. Hits the post. 1 goal, 3 for Carey. 3 posters for the Crows. Their lead is 6 behinds or 1 straight kick.
Gary Ayres, will he end up ruining some of these misses by his players in this second quarter, in particular Wayne Carey? But the signs, apart from that, are pretty promising. Adderall delivers to Simmons on the wing. Broadcast side, Hayden cruising past, backs himself, has a bounce across to Shammer, who grew up barracking for the Crows. Lays it off to Walker into the pocket. In front of his face, no mark taken by Medhurst. Second chance against the boundary, tries for the impossible dream. Remains just that. Perhaps a central kick may have been a higher percentage play, but
I'm going to ask you, Mark, in low percentage terms, what was that? Was that about the 1 scale?
If that. But that is Paul Medhurst to a tee.
It reminds you of the time when Malcolm Blight was taken off after kicking a left-foot boomerang through the middle of the goals when North Melbourne were about 12 goals up in front of Melbourne one day.
Not happening at the moment. Chris Conley persevering with Paul Medhurst. Hudson has the football. First game up. Direct to Rashudo. So good in the opening term. Kicks long. Stenglein with the flight. Hayden caught out of position. Bell, toe pokes it, taken by McGregor. Left foot central kick. McManus and Edwards, one-on-one. Testing times here for the Dockers. McManus does well. Gets it to Shammer, in trouble, spun in the tackle. McManus still over the football, pushed off it well by Schuback. Little kick round his body, sets up Edwards. It's just a question of accuracy from 20 metres. Steadies, shoots. Oh, don't tell me they've missed again. This is the quarter of missed opportunities for the Adelaide Crows. 3 goals, 10, if you don't mind. 13 scoring shots to 6.
They could have posted a big score. Instead, they've hit it 4 times.
Once again, it was just Sean McManus. He was in front, but he's not planting his feet strongly enough, and he just got brushed off it, went to ground, and exposed his flank, if you like, and he was lucky enough that the post got in the way.
Parker. High one to the outer side. Big flyer. Simmons couldn't get it. Riley, the handball. Burton closing. 60 out. Goes short. Carey in front. Has he got it again? No. He's won a free kick, though. He's won a free kick. And we'll have a 5th shot at goal for the quarter. Is it time to make the move? McFarlane off him?
Oh, I don't think so. I think he's been pretty stiff on a couple of occasions. I think he's done a great job. I mean, Carey was given a pretty easy go there. He certainly just hooked a hand in under his hand, but gee, if they applied that sort of technical approach across the ground, then there'd be 75 free kicks a match.
Their lead is 7 points. This is one the King should not miss. Carey's got his second.
Meet the all-new 8020 series tractors from John Deere. Now with even more power. New optional independent link suspension. New dual front wheel capabilities. New active seat technology. Higher transport speeds. Implement management system. Wheels and tracks. There's 10 new models. 21 configurations.
John Deere dealers Peter Carpenter, John Mumfries, Laurie Beaton, MH Mumfries, Narracorp, Millicent, Mt Gambier, Graham Sellers Farm Services, Keith, Chris McCrackham, Wickham Flower & Co, Bordertown.
Consistency, I guess, is what the players are chasing.
2 goals, 3 this afternoon to Wayne Carey. Perhaps a touch controversial, his last goal, but it's on the scoreboard, and the Crows with the momentum at Subiaco. Hudson opposed to Sandilands. Stengline slung in the tackle, the kick to the 50. John Cock goes to ground. Polak ridden into the ground. Will get a free kick.
Their first for the quarter.
Not missed by the locals. Ryan Polak. Ball to go now. Troy Cook started very well, but they lack fluency moving the ball forward, the Fremantle Dockers, from this position. Little chip to Hazelby. He can go. Told to now. Centering kick. Hayden just adjacent to the centre circle. Floating kick. Trying to trap it was Bassett. Gallagher. High ball. Welsh. Bassett goes again. The Crows out of trouble. They've got numbers for this broadcast side. Air pass will land in the lap of McLeod. Away he goes. Receiving it from Schuback. Carey again in front. The thump from McFarlane. Simmons couldn't take it with him. McFarlane goes to ground. No free kick, umpire letting that go. Ball to be thrown in. Wayne Carey is starting to cause problems. And the Dockers looking over their shoulder every time he approaches the football.
Well, if you compare that one to the one that was just given for a goal, you can understand why the Purple Haze are a little bit bemused.
Cook, good pickup. About to be mown down from behind, so under pressure kicks to the wing where Begley, the former Saint, takes the mark. The Dockers this term with 1 goal 1. Adelaide 2 goals 7. Begley drives it inside the 50. McGregor doing some holding on Hadrell. And he knows it. As we roll through some of the numbers for you on the top left of your screen, this is Hazelby with the footy. He's the leading ball winner for the Dockers with 14 touches. Bell 13, Pavlich 12, Cook 11. So those 4 from the midfield that we showed you at the start of the match winning the ball for them. Rashudo 17, Burton 16 for the Crows. Long one to the wing, and Riley, who's playing all right in this term, swoops in and takes the mark. Now, Dockers with plenty of numbers back now. 14 defenders in the Crows attacking half, and one of those is Simmons, who wears one and takes it. In fact, Polak giving it off for Bell. Now Pavlich at centre-half back to the running Cook. Back to Pavlich. To Bell, deferring the pressure. Shammer. Will they come unstuck? Yes. One too many. McLeod for Johncock. The bounce eludes him. Hadrell breaks the tackle. Welsh has got it. Johncock wants it at centre-half forward. Welsh plays on. Johncock screaming for it. He'll get it now, will he? No. Over the top to Edwards. Can he shrug McManus? Good work, McManus. Well done. Brilliant, in fact. And the Dockers counter-attack.
And they can hurt them the other way. Ben Cunningham with space, with time. One bounce. Comes back to him. Finds his man. Headland, 60 out. Forward line open. A long ball. Coming from the side. It's Clark. Medhurst. Support from Farmer. Has been quiet. Loves this situation, does Jeffrey. Right foot kick. Bouncing ball. Accommodates Walker. Going nowhere. Terrific tackle by Smart. Spills to Cunningham. Favoured left side. He sticks almost through for a goal. He thought he was celebrating. So do the Dockers fans. A minor score. It has been hard work getting goals on the board this afternoon. The Dockers, on that occasion, with a very good chance from just 20 metres out. Rashudo receives it from the kick-in.
Not a lot in it on the replay. Now Welsh open on the outer wing. Has Stenglein leading into space. Chips it in front of him. Stenglein will run onto it. Bounce makes him wait a heartbeat. Now kicks long to Edwards. In front, Grover filling the gap. Couldn't drag it down. Boundary line might be a good result. We'll throw it in. Meanwhile, Des Headland came from the ground. Jared unable to get into it.
Yeah, he's really struggled. Great to see Grover, though. He's been worked over a couple of times. And his engine really being tested at its limits. But his courage was tested there, and he was really up to it. Well done to him. And a good transfer of play by the Crows to get themselves back in scoring position.
Holding on. Dockers free to Sandilands. Now Pavlich. Dockers trailing by 2 goals in the shadows of half-time. Pavlich in front of Walker. In front of Smart. Should be able to run away from him. Smart kept up. Pavlich. Whoops. Had Walker in support. Got Cook. Seeing plenty of it this term. About to be caught. Gone. Oh, Smart hammered in there. Good tackle. Rashudo to Begley. Elects to play on. Running the wrong way. Feeding the hand pass off. A goal either way here would be vital. Schuback to Clark. Crows looking good. Clark towards half forward. McGregor to run onto it. The bounce was favourable. Lays it back for Massey. Awaiting a Carey or Edwards lead. Has to square it up. Good option though. Gallagher's got it. Should still go quickly because Edwards has got room to lead into. He provides that lead. The kick goes towards he and Burton. Burton knocking it away from Edwards and McManus. McManus holding up here in the final couple of minutes. Kicks for the boundary line. Will he find it? Yes.
There have been some great one-on-one battles. We don't see them too often in modern footy, but the McManus-Edwards one's been a really oscillating affair, and on that occasion it was McManus saving the Dockers a certain goal.
Not classic football, but this is an arm wrestle at Subiaco this afternoon. Dying stages of the opening half. Clark knocks it forward. Farmer. Much of speculation about that. Clark receives. Will it stay in the field of play? No, it won't, and that might just about see out the opportunity for either side to score in this second quarter. Called to come back. Robert Hadrell just behind his mark. Some thinking to do by Chris Conley and his charges at the main break. They came in as very warm favourites, but really have failed to get into their stride this afternoon.
I think one of the biggest issues is that they have got a very high possession midfield, and yet they haven't coped with the pressure that the Crows have been putting on them. They have responded by just increasing the handball rate rather than finding marking targets deeper into the forward line.
And that's the area where they've struggled throughout this first half. Unable to create enough pressure in the midfield. And at half-time, it's the Adelaide Crows with a handy buffer of 12 points.
Inaccuracy, will it come back to haunt them? We'll talk about it with Gerard Healy. This match and more coming up at halftime. Stay with us.
Run into Sports Power
For a huge range of sporting equipment and the latest sports gear. And the expert advice to perform your best and make you a winner. And with over 170 locally owned stores Australia-wide, there's always a Sports Power near you. At Sports Power, you're guaranteed the best value and service every time. And of course, Sports Power have all the biggest brands.
Run into Sports Power.
Sports Power, go one better.
Capital Corp Financial Services. We're one of Australia's largest finance brokerage firms with branches conveniently located throughout the nation. We are fully Australian-owned and have the professionalism, contacts and service to quickly source finance packages structured to meet your personal and business needs. We provide the easiest and most flexible solutions possible for personal finance, and our commercial finance specialists offer an extensive range of business products. See us first to pre-approve your next purchase. Capital Corp Finance Services, 10 Bay Road, Mount Gambier.
Buy a car like this and you'll attract a bit of interest. But buy what's in here and get 36 months interest-free on a new TV. Pay no interest for 36 months on a new fridge or a new washing machine. Bring a new computer home with 36 months interest-free. Get the latest in digital cameras with 36 months interest-free. Action! So you can get everything you need with 36 months interest-free. Now that's big!
Acting is what I live for. Because whatever role I choose, one thing is always the same. The sensation I get from the moment I step out on stage.
Final text, Adelaide.
Sure, there are times when I'm not feeling the best.
10 minutes.
But the show must go on. That's why I choose Panadol Rapid. Because it can start to get to work in as little as 10 minutes. Panadol. It's my choice.
Elders Merchandise Mount Gambier for the best service and advice on all your seed requirements. Offering an extensive range of custom mixed pasture seeds for any application. From budget blends to premium quality pasture mixes that can be inoculated and blended as required. The team at Elders can offer qualified advice to ensure you receive the best pasture blend for your needs. For all your pasture seed requirements, see the friendly team at Elders Merchandise, Nelson Road, Mount Gambier.
How did she get her hands on a car like that? A 1.8-litre, 100-kilowatt VVTi engine, CD player, keyless entry, driver's SRS airbag. What has she done to afford all that?
If you could travel back in time, would you go back to the 1960s, the 1930s, or the 1800s? You might not be able to travel back in time, but if never too old in Penola, you don't have to.
That bloke at Triton said the four-wheel drive would be ready by now. One quick check, then it's off fishing. Roof rack. ARB bull bar. Driving lights. Winch. Haven Reese tow bar. Safari snorkel. Engine was fully serviced by a qualified mechanic. Old man Emu shock absorbers. Most importantly, angle frit. Thanks to Trident, we got everything we need.
Hey, Steve, do you know who this fishing gear belongs to?
Returning soon to Win. 4 new couples in an all-new series. Joan Jury presents The Block. Coming soon to Win.
Might not be a candidate for From the Archives just yet, but who knows? A close game is a good game, and at half-time, Crows fans saying, we'll take this. 4-10-3 for the scoreline. Their lead is 12 points, and they kick straight. Well, could be game done and dusted right now. Kerry and Edwards, each with 2 goals for the Crows. Grover, Medhurst and Simmons, the goal kickers for the Dockers. You see the ball winners there, as we forecast earlier. The big names in the middle, all winning plenty of it, including Rashudo, back fully fit, 19 touches. Pavlik's leading the ball winner for the Dockers with 16 touches. Clinton Grybas and Gerard Healy with you here at Subiaco Oval, and it seems, Gerard, that the King is not ready to abdicate his throne just yet. Wayne Carey with an impressive second quarter against the young Luke McFarlane. 5 shots at goal, kicks 2 goals, 3, hits the post. Who knows, he could have had 4 or 5 goals.
Yeah, it was an interesting first half for Wayne Carey. just when he was able to be crowded, they had him covered. But when he found some space in the second term in particular, it was a new Wayne Carey. That was tough. That was a pretty good challenge from Hadrill. Tunnelled him in some regards, and he landed pretty heavily, but he got up. And when he was one-on-one, I reckon McFarlane had his measure when he was able to wrestle with him. But when he found space, he was unstoppable. I thought he was a bit stiff there in many respects, McFarlane, because that was a pretty soft free kick. He was on the end of another one as well, Wayne Carey. But this was the old Wayne Carey out in front, taking some pretty strong marks and taking him overhead. And there's been speculation that he still can't grab overhead. Well, we just saw a pretty fair one there.
Let's see if we're going to listen anything from the match stats to this point. The Dockers with 9 more possessions. We know their chip-around game, hence the uncontested possession lead, 13 more marks. The Crows winning the clearances, which was always going to be an important battle.
Yeah, the midfield stuff is, I think it's a great match. Maybe not a classic, but what we're seeing is positional play, man against man, and we can almost pinpoint across the board who's playing on who, which is a rarity in this day and age. And look, it's just great to see the likes of Rashudo. You know, we know who he's exactly playing on, and we know who's playing on McLeod, etc. And those battles are going to really decide this match.
Yeah, and the Crows' forward structure to this point looking a lot better. Boy, it's been a busy weekend, hasn't it? We'll talk about some of the highlights after this. We'll come back for our weekend wrap, and boy, there's been a lot to talk about. Back in a moment.
Never too old, where history comes alive. Select from the vast array of cedar, Baltic pine and mahogany furniture. Browse through a rich collection of antiques, fountains, rustic collectibles and more. Never too old, in Penola for genuine treasures.
Introducing the most advanced lineup of all new pulling power from John Deere. The mighty 20 Series tractor range. From 45 to 450 horsepower. There's new suspension systems, new transmission options, advanced technology management, auto steering, new cabs, tracks, wheels, new models, new configurations, more choice.
John Deere dealers: Peter Carpenter, John Mumfries, Laurie Beaton, MH Mumfries, Narracorp, Millicent, Mt Gambier, Graham Sellers Farm Services, Keith, Chris McCrackham, Wickham Flower & Co, Bordertown.
New Colgate whitening toothbrush. My first day at work, they made fun of my face. But when they found out that my soft polisher helps remove stains 30% better than an ordinary toothbrush, heads rolled. And a new team moved in. New Colgate whitening toothbrush cleans so well it whitens.
For many years, I've suffered from osteoarthritic pain in my arm and my shoulders. I now use a little bit of relief every day.
By rubbing a little bit of relief on the painful areas, you may be able to do things in life that you haven't done without pain in years. A little bit of relief is now available in pharmacies everywhere. The Pain Relief Gel made for people who suffer from strong pain. A little bit of relief, the pain relief product that works like a local anesthetic to help relieve your pain. Available in pharmacies now.
You'll love any excuse to wash your hair now that Herbal Essences contains Hawafina, a plant protein blend that revitalises your hair and you. The experience just got better.
Pilkington, first in class, they get the job done, you can't go past Pilkington. First in class.
Widen your horizons and enjoy the great outdoors indoors with Stacker Doors from Pilkington Glass. Manufactured for maximum strength and durability, Pilkington Stacker Doors offer simple good looks and style with security and peace of mind.
Pilkington, first in glass.
Who wants to be a property owner? Here's your first question. How much could you save over 15 years if you were paying 0.5% lower interest on a $200,000 home loan? If your answer is A, $10,003, you're absolutely correct. That's over $10,000, either back in your pocket or paid off the principal of your home loan. Find out how much you can save. Call Andrew Zobel Home Loans and book an appointment today.
Yeah, glad Chris Connolly wasn't watching that. Recruiting mission Kick long, kick direct, go for home, right?
Well, the young lads saw where they were going wrong, the Dockers, in the first half, and they're showing Chris the game plan, the new game plan.
Every Sunday afternoon, we have a look at what's gone on in the AFL weekend, and boy, has it been a beauty. We're going to take you through the time on goals from last night's final quarter. Essendon West Coast. Jared, I know you're in Sydney. Have a look at this. We're at the 23-minute mark of the final term. Scores level. Eagles were down by 8 goals early. Justin Murphy looking like he was going to be the hero, and he would put the Bombers in front. You're thinking at this point, well, that's the last goal of the game Essendon have won. But after that, it was an absolute thriller. Glenn Jakovic going forward for the West Coast Eagles. He might not have the quickest of turning circles, but suddenly Jacko was there to tie the scores. And you think, are the Eagles going to play in another draw? Well, no. Less than 2 minutes later, Matthew Lloyd. Aren't the Bombers happy the appeal was successful? Goal number 8. And you think Lloydie is the hero and the Bombers are going to win the game. But then, no, the Eagles bouncing back. The little hand pass comes out in the form of Magpie. Adkins, surely it's going to finish in a draw now. No. Who's the man in the press during the course of the League One? James Hird. And he finishes with 30 seconds to spare.
Herd was the word rule for the weekend, wasn't it?
It was. It was a stunning match, and costly loss for the Eagles. And Michael Gardner telling the Sunday Times today he could be out for up to 2 months, which is a devastating blow.
Well, hopefully for him it'll be just a restrain of that posterior cruciate ligament. If there is also associated cartilage damage, well, who knows where it's going to finish. Dean Cox also, I believe, was absent too. So in many respects, the Eagles did brilliantly to get back, but the Bombers, boy, did they need that win.
Yeah, they could take a lot out of the loss of the Eagles. So could Carlton against the Kangaroos. Terrific match this. The Roos, were they lucky? We'll have a look at Corey Jones early in the last quarter. Tackled, slung. It doesn't matter, kicks the goal anyway. This was the controversial one, though. Was it out of bounds on the full off the boot of Houlihan? It was deemed that way, and Wells with 8 seconds to spare.
Well, it was a great shot. I mean, he knew that there was no time, with 32 minutes gone, there was no time to be passing it, to look for another option. He just had to go back and bang it home, and he fired under pressure. It is an exciting young player for the Kangaroos, and, well, 3 wins, no losses. They're also gaining some momentum.
Also 3 wins, no losses, the Brisbane Lions. The question remains, can anybody stop this team in the run to the 2004 Premiership? This was where the game turned. Collingwood by 14 points midway in the second quarter. Ackermanis the smother on Lacuria. Did it hit the post? Well, the end result says it's a goal.
I think it's no doubt it hit the post, but when you win by 10 goals, those little incidents are incidental.
Yeah.
But they were phenomenal. Chris Johnson again booming. McGrath also doing well, although losing some momentum. But the recovery here. In comes Black, just lays it off, has a shot. And it's just great to watch a class act like the Brisbane Lions going about their business. They've got an old man in the goal square. They've got a legend of the game who was amused in the coach's box.
And he'll be coming here next weekend as the Lions take on the West Coast Eagles. Lynch, unlikely to travel even if there is a report. You were in Sydney last night. Swans and Geelong. Cats did bounce back as we expected them to, but their short possession-based game brought them undone a couple of times, including very early on.
It did. It was coming out of defence really hurt them. Matthew Scarlett this time as the offending player. That turns into a goal for the Swans, and there was, I think, 4 or 5 of those poor shots that ended up in easy shots for the goal for the Swans. And it was really an issue of the Swans battling with themselves. At three-quarter time, they were 14 points down. The Cats had their measure, but the Cats got stage fright, and Sydney just lifted, and I guess that's a sign of a good side.
2 other matches played this afternoon. We've got the final scores for you, so if you don't want to know them just yet because of the replays coming up, look away now. Don't be so glum. Your footy tipping will improve.
Hopefully. Can't get worse.
Big second half coming up here at Subiaco Oval. The Crows enjoying a slender 12-point advantage, 4-10 to 3-4. We'll have the third quarter for you coming up next.
Keeping up with busy people today is made easier with help from Hutchison's. Cordless phones, great for the busy person at home or work. Outdoors, in the factory or on the water, UHF radios keep you in touch. Of course, Hutchison's, your local Telstra dealer, can keep you up to date with the ultimate range of funky modern mobile phones and accessories to suit your lifestyle.
Hutchison's Communications Centre, we're the ones to trust. For the best communications, talk to us.
OGR give you choice with market-leading new cars like Holden, Nissan, Mazda, GM Daewoo and Isuzu trucks. With so much choice and excellent OGR sales and service support, it's no wonder OGR are at the forefront of the new vehicle market in the southeast.
So much more than just a car. OGR, your driving future.
Creating your dream bedroom is simple with distinctive furniture from Eddie's. Inspirational designs that capture the imagination. Every piece both functional and stylish. Crafted from quality materials with attention given to the smallest of details. For bedrooms to create that special atmosphere, visit Eddie's, open every day, 220 Commercial Street East, Mt Gambier.
Carlton Draft, made with barley, hops and attractive yeast. Brewed in a big metal thing, put in kegs and driven around by horses, poured into frosty sideways glasses and drunk in pubs. Carlton Draft, made from beer.
The Lakes Resort in Mt Gambier is the venue with that something special. The fully licensed a la carte restaurant is the perfect venue for a wedding reception or to dine out with friends. Plan your next business function with the fully equipped conference facilities. Their executive suites, indoor heated pool and spa, sauna and gymnasium complex are ideal for the business person on the move. Or just relax and get away from it all with a night away from home. The Lakes Resort Mt Gambier, the venue with that something special.
Great strength is the hallmark of the humble yet industrious ant, but the success of the colony depends on seamless teamwork. So too does Inside Tech Pivot depend on a team of experts at every level working together to achieve one common goal: the reliable supply of quality fertilisers to Australian farmers. Just like the ant, Inside Tech Pivot understands that through teamwork and strength comes reliability.
Terrific to have you with us on this Sunday afternoon, Easter Sunday. Hope it's pleasurable for you. If you're a Crows fan, I imagine it is right now. That's the situation. Clinton Grybas, Mark Reddings, Jared Healy with you upstairs. Michael Thompson downstairs with a familiar face alongside.
Yes, indeed, a familiar face. 11-time national hurdles champion, 2-time Olympian, hoping to go to his third Olympics shortly. Kyle Vanderkuyp, who's a Dockers supporter. Kyle, what did you think of that first half?
I thought it was good, particularly to see the guys out there playing footy. I've been training with the guys for a few months, and it's actually good to see them play footy and see all the work they've done actually pay off. And I reckon they need to pick up a bit, but it's good to see them play.
Now, you grew up in Victoria, but you've moved over here, obviously for the weather conditions, and you're doing some training with the Dockers.
Yeah, I'm here for about 3 weeks, and I did a month in December, and basically just to get away from Melbourne, the cold weather. But Dockers have been, great. They've welcomed the club, and I've used their facilities. And, for track and field athlete, it's great to have good facilities.
And how's it going for Athens? What more do you need to do to get a berth there?
Basically, the team's picked in July, so I'm really going for an A qualifier, which will automatically put me in. I've done 3 Bs, but that leaves me in the selectors' hands, and I want to take it out of their hands and get automatically in. But 3 Olympics have mean a lot to me, so I'm going hard.
Kyle, good luck with that, and time for bounce down. Good luck with the Athens campaign.
Kyle Vanderkuyp with Michael Thompson downstairs here at Subiaco. More than 32,000 on hand, and an intriguing second half about to unfold. As you saw earlier, Simon Goodwin out for the remainder of this match and not looking good. We'll get a further update. We won't speculate as to the extent of that injury. Set to go then for the second half. Crows searching for their first victory of the season. There was talk coming into this match, harking back to round 4 of the 2001 season at Optus Oval when they were 0-3 playing Carlton and performed a memorable comeback. It's a hot day, Jared. Is Chris Connolly still on world record pace with those changes?
No, well under. Probably will get the A qualifier, but 22 at half-time, 17 for the Crows.
Simmons and Clark. Henlon, can he get into the fray? High one to Farmer. Gets the free kick. That count running 9-4 the Dockers' way.
Jeff got his hand up, and finally he's got it. He's going to mark it. He's going to make sure that everyone knows where the mark is, and don't be surprised that having marked it, he runs around. But they've started again with a very small forward line. Shammer, Farmer, Nedhurst and Clive, who's anchored in the goal square.
Whiz! Whiz, come round, Whiz! Whiz! You're there!
Like that mattered a lot.
He's got a handball option going right.
Close to the man on the mark. Here he goes. Takes that handball option. Grover, Pavlich, another one. Waterhouse, one too many perhaps. Tight angle. Clive the banana! No, across the face. And that wasn't all that impressive, to be honest.
Looked like it was set up. I think where it came unstuck was that Jeff Farmer was looking to run around, but the Crows player on the mark was smart enough to just force them wide.
Begley to bring it back into play. 4-10 plays 3-5. On a fine, albeit hot, and occasionally windy afternoon as Rashudo. What a gun in the first half. 19 touches. One of the reigning Brownlow medalists. Stengline out wide. He saw a bit of it as well. Had 8 possessions.
Hard to assess these midfielders when they're both getting high possessions. Yeah. Hazelby is direct opponent with 15. Rashudo with 20 now.
You look at it and say not a lot of accountability. Cunningham, here's Pavlich with another one, a short one. Here's Hazelby again. Again, plenty of space. Takes it, goes quickly. Long ball inside 50. Simmons with several to beat. Big ones provides the spoil. Farmer will get there first. Span away before he actually had a good second effort, though, from Jeff. Tied up by Begley. Play on the call. Will it come out? Henshaw, McLeod, Burton. Crows will be able to clear it as he pops it out in front of the running shoeback.
McManus closing fast. John Cock receives the hand pass. Walker on his hands and knees. John Cock extricates himself brilliantly. Has a bounce. Doesn't quite come back to him. The speed of the man, though, enables him to break free of Pavlich to Smart. Delivers nicely to Edwards. At the Spill McGregor a chance. With him is Hadrill. The Dockers under enormous pressure. Free kick. Go back to the Dockers. I am John Cock. Even too quick for my lips as he slipped through the midfield on that occasion.
And Nigel Smart getting involved, and he's just still with, despite his age, he still has got great pace.
Hayden finds Grover. Oh, interception. Could be costly. McGregor off the side of the boot. Carey was there. Edwards swoops. Parker with the tackle. The Adelaide Crows pressing hard. Massey in there as Carey again. The hand pass over the top. Edwards another chance. Parker. John Cock. Was he taken high? No. Edwards slinging the tackle. Umpire doesn't blow his whistle. Pavlich. And they breathe a sigh of relief as Hayden spots a man in Hazelby outside the defensive 50. They are making heavy weather of surviving this Adelaide challenge.
It's an engrossing struggle. Hazelby taking time to catch his breath. Walker in the middle, his target. Now he's bereft of 3 options long, so goes short to Hadrill. Elects to play on. Now a bit of fluency. Long inside the 50, Medhurst. Bassett, the spoil, has been pretty disciplined today. And again they win out. Rashudo for Clark. Now he waits. Mobile chess game unfolds. Good kick, Stevens going a long way down the ground.
I think it's pretty clear that the messages come from Chris Connolly. No extra handballs through the middle. Get the ball inside the forward 50 a bit quicker.
Stevens to Massey. Parker provides the boundary throw-in. 34 plays 23. A low-scoring arm wrestle. Rashudo, the game's leading ball winner with 20 touches. An early season game, neither side can afford to lose. An 8-point game, if you like. The Dockers will be 8 points up on the Crows at the end of the day if they win. Henshaw hurriedly forward. And now the Dockers can look to rebound through Headland. Possession number 8 coming up. A wobbly-looking kick, ill-directed, and Burton happy to batter it out volleyball style for a boundary throw-in. Farmer talking to his teammates away from the camera. 11 points the margin. The bench, Longmuir, Sandilands, Clark, Carr and Cook at the moment for the Dockers. They will be rotated on soon. Stengline, partial fist to it. Clark slaps it out in front of Smart, the veteran. Collides with Bell. Burt hooks the kick around his body. Out of bounds on the full. The Dockers will take the free.
Doc is still trying to find a winning formula up in that deep in that forward line. We've got Simmons in the goal square at the moment. With Des Hedlund only having half a dozen possessions, he's probably worth a try up there. He can kick goals and he can kick handfuls of goals. Haven't seen it all that often though for the Dockers.
Anthony Grover, one of the goal kickers for the Dockers this afternoon, to half forward. Well, Clyde flew, didn't infringe. The umpire put the whistle to the mouth. To Farmer, Begley with the pressure. Burton involved with Hazelby. Somehow Burton got it across to McLeod, throws it on the boot. Havlich traps it eventually to Walker. Wants to sprint clear, use his pace, and he does just that. Sets up a forward sortie inside the 50. Medhurst one-handed at the back. Rashudo charges through to Riley, left it behind. Hedlund, Clive, cross they go down to Shammer. 45 out directly in front, and that sums up the afternoon at Subiaco Oval in front of goals for both sides. A golden opportunity, and they're going begging at both ends of the ground.
Havlic's now playing in the ruck, and he's running head-to-head with Matthew Clark.
Bassett saying, did anyone get the number of that truck from behind? Adelaide by 10 points.
And a number of Dockers fans will be asking the question, why then not put Simmons into the ruck and Pavlich to full forward?
Working it to the wing for Biglands. Big man with space, backed himself to have a bounce. Kicks towards Carey in front again. Bit of carry on the kick, and McFarlane will win the free.
You grabbed him, Wayne. He's grabbed him.
Same clear cut. Hedlund now on half-back. Who will engineer something for the Dockers up forward? Will they eventually send Pavlich there? Hedlund goes to Shammer, point of the square at half-back. Teenager out of West Adelaide. Taking some time. It's been that sort of afternoon.
Hazelby's one that's pushing forward into the deep into the forward line, and he has for most of the day, but the bonus for them is that Rashudo's going with him.
To bring in a play clock nearly to dispose of it as Shammer goes to the wing. Off hands Burton, gets a free for a high one. It will come back.
Point of contact on your line.
Aidan Kennedy.
No down.
Andrew McLeod is 30 metres shy of an opponent.
McManus heading into the same postcode as him now, but still not exactly side by side. Kennedy with Nichols and Margetts, our umpires, as Burton. Possession number 18. Dinky little chip to half forward. Walker drags down John Cock. Gee whiz, that was a bit of leniency, wasn't it? McGregor inside 50 towards the pocket. Massey coming out. Round his body, bouncing ball. Don't tell me it didn't get there. Hayden right on the line. Touching it just in the nick of time. It's going to be that sort of afternoon where someone's going to conjure up a goal out of nothing, which could decide the fate of the match.
Roger Hayden just saved 5 points right there. Spots Walker in the shade of the two-tier stand.
Clive Waterhouse is off the ground, and Troy Longmuir gets a run.
Fremantle Dockers appear to have real trouble countering this Adelaide Crows plan against them this afternoon. Pavlich. Very indecisive. Now breaks it open. Switch of play.
Hadrill up the middle and they're away.
Hayden to Hadrill. Gerard Healy has called it spot on from half back. Troy Longmuir going back with a flight. Henschel comes at him. Longmuir keeps his feet. Henschel provides a contest. Charging through is Begley. Slap clear, looking for Cunningham. Ball in dispute. Begley lost it. Clark, good hands. Crows clear through Burton. A bounce. Hand pass is okay. Crows build. Riley pops it up in the Carey direction. Tyson Edwards there as well. At the spill, John Cocky swoops. Gets past Hadrill. 48 metres out. Graham John Cock lines him up and splits the middle. It needed a touch of class, and he provided it.
Creating your dream bedroom is simple with distinctive furniture from Eddie's. Inspirational designs that capture the imagination. Every piece both functional and stylish. Crafted from quality materials with attention given to the smallest of details. For bedrooms, to create that special atmosphere, visit Eddie's, open every day. 220 Commercial Street East, Mt Gambier.
10 minutes, third term. And the Crows are out to their biggest lead of the game, courtesy of that man. They've kicked the last 3 goals. And the Dockers are getting jittery. Simmons tried to take it out of the ruck. Bell, the skipper to the left perhaps. Gets by Burton. Pavlich. Hazelby for the quick reply.
You won't be buying someone else's problem when you purchase a vehicle from OGR's Used Car Centre. We're the largest certified back dealer in the southeast. This means we complete 100-point checks set by Holden. You also receive a 3-year, up to 175,000 kilometre mechanical protection at no extra cost. With GMAC financing, OGR will have you driving around in no time at all.
So much more than just a car. OGR, your driving future.
Does he play him in the goal square, centre-half forward? Or is he not too valuable coming through the middle?
Paul Hazelby up to 18 disposals, and the Dockers get back within 11 points. Simmons has to stand and wait. Sharked by Stingline. Loose ball. Cunningham tried to go off the ground. Smart. Still those 2 players fight for possession. Hazelby can't control it off hands.
Good effort by Ben Cunningham, though. Smothered the handball.
Yes, just played 1 game last year. Round 12. Very difficult to break into this side. There's the Crows bench. Some inexperience there. The rotation continues from both coaches. There's warm conditions. Stingline came in from the side. Rashudo and Bell, the 2 captains, lock horns. Kick under as far as Hayden. Can set it up now from half-back to Polak to Headland. Back into the centre circle. Kicks long. Inside the 50. Burton juggled. Good mark defensively. Very important he took that to ground because there were 2 or 3 Dockers circling, waiting for a chance to capitalise and kick another goal for Fremantle.
And it's a challenge for Chris Connolly. They've got to just somehow drag Burton out of that area. It's a couple of times now he's taken marks across half-back.
McGregor short to McLeod on half-back. Back to Burton, seeing plenty of it. Possession number 23 coming up. He strays from his line. Rashudo, possession number 25, winning plenty of it as well. Towards half-forward. John Cock working with Stevens, running out of room. Keeps it in, well done. Now Massey. Bombs it high. Inside 50, hoping Kerry can take a pack mark. Off hands, Nigel Smart, the veteran, to answer for the Crows. Terrific goal, Nigel Smart. An unlikely goal kicker.
Whoa, whoa, where my baby smiles at me, I go to Rio.
The new 5-door Kia Rio with air, central locking, power windows and mirrors from $14,990 drive away.
Big ask now for the Fremantle Dockers. Nigel Smart takes a breather. Crows with the ascendancy. Either Ruckman got a hand on that. Stingline got the kick away. Wait for the direction from the umpire. And a free kick will go to Hazelby. Mark Rashudo letting possession get over 25.
Still got to get around the spare man. Brett Biglands is now just dropping back with Burton going up the ground a bit.
Grover pops it up high, and there's Headland. Now that's been declared out of bounds. He carried that over the boundary line. The mark completed over the line according to the boundary umpire.
Hang on. How come you're blowing it out of bounds? Because it was clutched. It was being juggled over. Okay, if it's juggled, that's a throw in.
Yeah. That's the explanation. It doesn't get much clearer than that, Jared.
No, it's good umpiring. Hayden Kennedy just explaining if he's juggled it.
That's how the umpire on the boundary saw it. In any case, Rashudo, Stingline. Clear out through half-back now, the Crows. McGregor was the target at the back. Walker, bouncing ball, gets past Carey to McFarlane. Important the Fremantle Dockers hang in here. Waterhouse flies, makes a contest in the end. It sets up Shammer, who can give it to Headland. Running past now is Cook. 65 out. Not renowned for his long quick kicking. The bounce, will it get past Biglands? No, it doesn't. Simmons lopes after it. Hand pass inside. They can raffle it. Farmer, ultra long the off the outside of the boot. And the Fremantle Dockers get one back.
You won't be buying someone else's problem when you purchase a vehicle from OGR's Used Car Centre. We're the largest certified back dealer in the southeast. This means we complete 100-point checks set by Holden. You also receive a 3-year, up to 175,000 kilometre mechanical protection at no extra cost. With GMAC financing, OGR will have you driving around in no time at all.
So much more than just a car. OGR, your driving future.
The chair tonight. This game becoming a beauty. And the goals beginning to flow now as well. 4 in the last 7 minutes. Simmons and Clark. Simmons, Pavlich went without it. Riley, Gallagher, Welsh. Crows the clearance. High one towards McGregor at half forward with Stevens and Hadwell reading it the best. Elects to square it up for Cook. He can go down the middle if he so desires. Hazelby will take it and can go. Well, elects just to wait. Team rules first. And wait. We might take a break. We'll be back in 30 seconds. Come on, Paul, get on with it. Towards the wing. Medhurst the target. Bassett with him. Medhurst the mark. And just about disappears from view. Elects to go short. Pavlich is there. Burton skittled through he. Bell under pressure. Stenglein wearing him well here. Bell does very well for Cook. Got to knock it on. Caught. Oh, big tackle there from Bassett. No whistle either way. Pavlich to Grover. Long to full forward. Dockers lifting. Simmons the target in from the side. Welsh. Good mark. Now he's got Riley wide. He'll take it, and Stevens has got a Paddock on the wing. Can he get it to him? He elects to go short for Begley. Begley can run down the centre corridor. Kicks to centre half forward. Target coming out. Massey, strong hands.
Good kick and a pretty good take from Chris Massey.
Now await the Carey lead. Massey hanging onto it. Just goes short and wide. Covering ground, McGregor. Now the Carey lead. McGregor turns him down. Second lead up forward provided by Stevens. McGregor goes to Edwards coming out in a pack of 4. Oh, roving Gallagher goes without it. Headland, counter punch from the Dockers. Adelaide though with numbers wide. Welsh, Hazelby might get there first. Great bump, McManus. Hazelby away. Simmons is the target in front, got it.
And they've changed the structure up forward for the first time today. They've gone with extra tools, and Polak's the man.
Not 50, just bringing him back a couple of metres.
It's a great bump, though, by McManus. He's had a good game. A couple of little mistakes. When you make mistakes deep in defence, so they can be costly, but that was superb.
Simmons short on the lead, Medhurst. Oh, and that's close to 50, says the crowd. Not there, though. Medhurst right half forward, 5 in from the boundary. One goal today and 1 out of bounds from his 2 kicks at goal. We're about to enter time on in the third term. And Medhurst diving away almost before Welsh had arrived. He's always entertaining. Was a big Tony Modra fan as a kid. Lining up his second goal here to try and cut it to a 5-point margin.
It'll be interesting to follow his career. There are so many similarities between the way he started his career and the way Chris Johnson started his career.
Yep.
Chris was a small forward, took big marks. Look where he is now, one of the best players in the comp.
Medhurst misses badly.
Just lean back, just no technique there under pressure. Lean back, slice the ball off his boot.
Chris Connolly coaching the Dockers on a 49th occasion, chasing win number 26. That's a fair way off, even though the margin is only 11 points. And some confusion in the back pocket, at least amongst the Adelaide Crows, as to how they can clear the area. Begley with the football. Polak stands the mark. That's what confronts the former Saint. Hence the indecision. A long ball. Biglands will camp in front. At the back, Simmons read it best. Quick to get away. Troy Longmuir the target. Hits him at the 50. And from this distance, Troy Longmuir would be one of the better bets in this side to go the journey.
He's had an impact, Troy Simmons, since he's been pushed into the ruck. That was a super important mark because Brett Burton was the only player at the back of the pack, as you could see there on that replay. He was away.
Left foot kick. It's tight. It's close. He likes it. And the Dockers get a little bit closer. He's got 2 for the afternoon.
Creating your dream bedroom is simple with distinctive furniture from Eddie's. Inspirational designs that capture the imagination. Every piece both functional and stylish. Crafted from quality materials with attention given to the smallest of details. For bedrooms to create that special atmosphere, visit Eddie's, open every day, 220 Commercial Street East, Mt Gambier.
And now the old house is rocking. Biggest ever crowd for a match between these two in Perth, more than 32,000. Can the Dockers get their nose in front? Big tackle, McManus on Gallagher. Pavlich emerges. Shammer, Bell, they get the clearance. Kick to half forward. Longmuir lurking. Can he end up with 3 1/4? Puts the tackle on Henshaw. It was a good one. Burton in support. Stengline back to Burton. Having a blistering afternoon. Loose man at half forward. Here's Welsh. Takes the mark. Takes off. Has a bounce. Might go long. McManus closing. Good tackle. Force the error. Grover takes it. Turnover. Dockers away. Headland goes long. Half forward. Waterhouse in front. At the back a chance for Fremantle Polak. Now Clyde. Dinky little kick. Longmuir again. He's going to line up for his third.
Yeah, just get that camera back on to Sean McManus whenever you can, because he was the inspiration behind the shot at goal. He was flat out. It was just a lunging dive to put some pressure on the Crows, and that's what turned it around.
Don't have to be a captain to be a leader. He was a captain for a couple of years, co-captain McManus, but very much a leader of this group. Now Longmuir had the kicking boots on for West Perth with 5 goals in the WAFL last week. Tight angle, great result! He's got him.
No, totally dry.
Hey, Dad, what about over that?
With 2.5 ton towing, V8 power and cross-track all-wheel drive. Go where no ute has gone before.
Well, sir, there is water on Mars, but we didn't find it.
All-wheel drive Holden Crewman Cross 8. Just launched.
Those damn Aussies.
So Troy Longmuir on a new 1-year deal, 3 goals next to his name. Last year, 7 times named an emergency. The emergency light is now sounding in the coach's box of Gary Ayres. A 1-point lead to Fremantle.
Pavlich from the ground.
Great start. Prosciutto, McLeod. Hand pass directed. Stengline charges through. Hudson did well in a tight situation to Welsh. Favoured left side. Run down by Hazelby. Prosciutto gets involved. High tackle. Adelaide Crows free kick.
Troy, the second arm is over Andy Solder. Just their 6th for the afternoon.
Important one because Carey's on the end of it. Don't they need this, the Crows, after putting a gap between themselves and the Fremantle Dockers, where inside the final 5 minutes of the third term, Wayne Carey with 2 goals, 3 for the afternoon. This, the most difficult of those kicks so far. The veteran, the champ. He's done it in so many big situations. Not this time. Smart came from behind. It's off hands. And he's all tied up at 48 points apiece.
Well, it's a good move here, I think, from Chris Conley. He had Matthew Pavlich off the ground resting. And I think the decision's been made, well, he might as well rest by standing in the goal square, because if the ball comes down that way, he's better equipped than anybody else that they've got to snag a goal.
Twice in the last 5 years, these two clubs have played out a 1-point result at this ground.
Right now, we're deadlocked.
So maybe the best thing that the Crows could do is send the message out to Bassett to tell him to just keep running him up and down the ground. Perhaps that exhaustive running may have an impact late in the last.
Hayden to Sandilands. Burton getting in front, knocking it down. Hudson is there. McGregor's kick smothered. Massey runs onto it. Kicks to an opening at the top of the square. Good kick. Smart. McManus does well. Still under the pump, though. Walker. Back to McManus. Kept on running. Kick not good. Spent the petrol tickets. Stengline. Chip short. Massey the target. Has he got it? No. John Cock lurking. He's dangerous. Caught. Into Massey. McGregor with him. McGregor now on a tight angle. Out of bounds on the full. Pressure. Intense.
Bell coming back on.
Admiral to Parker. So that rotation continuing. Will it assist the Dockers late in the game on what's been a taxing afternoon physically? Parker has it in the back pocket, as you see. We're counting down towards 3 minutes remaining in the third quarter.
Importantly, the Dockers have got the wide targets covered, so they're going to have to invent. Not 15, first time paid this year.
Parker going out wide for Hayden through his hands. Henschel, Headland, Henschel in front, dragged off it. Whistle, no. Hayden is there. Heavy contact on ball provided by Smart, but Hayden was silky smooth there. Off to Hazelby. Open territory in front. Gives the hand pass away. Running is Cunningham. 70 out and closing. Long to Polback. Begley to spoil. Ball knocked down. Hudson concedes a behind. Well done. It's enough to give Fremantle the lead.
Pressure building. The tempo has lifted in the second half of this third term. Bassett picks out Burton in the shade of the light tower. Not much to go to. Pops it up dangerously. McManus flies from behind. At the spill, Cook. Here's Pavlich. Looks upfield. Tries to spot out his man in Longmuir, who's been terrific in this quarter with 3 goals next to his name, but couldn't take that mark, and the ball trapped inside the 50. 1 point the lead. Less than 2.5 minutes remaining. Sandilands works his way to the front. Comes to Stengline. Leaves a little hand pass. It's okay. Again, McManus. Fight superb. The 1%ers coming into play. Riley, his kick was heading out of the danger area, but McManus was terrific. Inspirational stuff by the former captain. Late score here in a low-scoring game. Simply vital. McManus tries to bust his way through. He does! Don't tell me he's going to kick a goal. He doesn't, but he puts it into the path of Simmons. Can't keep it in. It's an inspired man.
He's having a great afternoon. Just got the old adrenaline rushing a little bit too much. He got him through the tackles, but then the execution let him down. But he's been brilliant.
Flirts with greatness there. Dockers still deep in attack, late in the term. Sandilands with a hot spot. Bassett the hurried clearance, but the Dockers have got the wall set up. This is Cook. Can he kick it 50? Pops it up very wide. Out of bounds. Been a tough afternoon for goalkeeping. 13-19 our cumulative total, with 5 more shots out of bounds on the full. There's another, albeit not a shot at goal. The target was Massey. It wasn't impressive. Cook will be the man to come back and take it.
Going for 3 out on the falls in a row.
Cook goes wide. McLeod will help it out of bounds. We'll have a throw in.
Have you ever had that before in footy, Clinton?
No. I'd consult Graham Bond, but not even, I'm sure we haven't. This was a very, very windy day back in 1912. Boundary throw in with the Dockers pressing late. Sandilands in front, the giant body. Charging after it. Hazelby from the boundary line. High kick. Awkward swirling ball. Crows must concede. Can they concede? Yes. The Dockers lead doubles with another rush behind.
And that is where the great skill and the great practice of kick to kick at school comes into practice in AFL footy. Because you have to have all eyes on the ball and be prepared to wear a bit in that last clinch.
Only certainty with the Fremantle Dockers forward line. They'll all fly.
Well, when you see Peter Bell having a crack, you know that at school he was always looking for the hand.
And rarely do they say yours, with Clive Waterhouse, Paul Manhurst, Jeff Farmer all lurking. The kick hugs the boundary line. Red Bigland's got hands to it, but the hands came over the top and forced it over for a boundary throw-in. Counting down to three-quarter time, a minute remaining. Score either side. So important.
Farmer on his own.
Sandilands with Hudson. Prosciutto looks for the boundary and finds it. The momentum, which was firmly with the Adelaide Crows some 15 or 20 minutes ago, has been arrested.
Now McManus being tagged. He's turned it right around. Brent Riley is running with him.
Winning these clearances. Prosciutto, Hudson, Riley. Good combination. Gets the kick away. Not effective. In fact, very poor. And could be quite costly with the Fremantle Dockers with 39 seconds on the clock. And perhaps one last chance to get a goal in the context of this game. An 8-point lead would be super handy with 1 quarter remaining.
Now he's riskily kicked it to the centre corridor, but it was precise for Hadrill. Boy, that would have had Chris Connolly's heart in his mouth for a moment. Half a minute to go. Crows aware of that, are flooding back. Sandilands marks on the wing. Dockers have kicked the last 3 goals. Clock ticking down now. Sandilands short. Waterhouse can't get it. Is there time either way? Simmons, good pickup. Tackled. Force it forward. Headland gets it to Cook. 55 out. Caught. Good tackle. Gallagher held up. A bounce. That will be the final act of the 3rd stanza this afternoon.
Well, it's been a good fight back by the Dockers to take the lead at three-quarter time. They've spent a lot of energy in doing it, no doubt. And so it all looms as who is prepared to run the hardest in this final term.
Last time they met, the difference was 1. Right now it's 2. Best you don't go anywhere.
The 2004 Premiership season proudly presented by O.G. Robertson Co., your driving future, and Eddie's. Live it, love it, I like it.
That's fantastic. Have you seen what they've got at Repco, honey?
Cyclone 12-volt heavy-duty air compressor, 35% off, now $79. Projector 12-volt battery charger, 40% off, now $17.99.
Back to lap 23 at the mouth. We'd made arrangements to meet the bank manager on a Saturday morning, and we ran into a few problems. I rang him on his mobile and said, look, we'll be running a little bit late. And he said, don't worry, we'll go home, save opening the bank. We went home to his place, had a cup of tea, signed all the documents on his kitchen table. A real bank manager in a real town, real kitchen table.
To make Street's Blue Ribbon ice cream, we start by pouring in the richest, creamiest real buttermilk. Then we add the crunchy biscuit pieces and the rich chocolate flavour that gives Arnott's Tim Tam their irresistible taste. To create new Street's Blue Ribbon Tim Tam. Street's Blue Ribbon, the cream of ice creams. Now with Arnott's Tim Tam and Arnott's Mint Slice varieties. Come on, treat yourself.
With powerful performance, precision handling, and aerodynamic body, the Camry Sportiva is built for great roads.
To fight the 7 signs of aging, you could use a whole range of specialized products. Or just one, new Total Effects Plus. It doesn't just help fight all 7 signs of aging, it gives the benefits of your anti-aging moisturizing routine. So you can love the skin you're in.
Acting is what I live for. Because whatever role I choose, one thing is always the same. The sensation I get from the moment I step out on stage.
Final text, Adelaide.
Sure, there are times when I'm not feeling the best.
10 minutes.
But the show must go on. That's why I choose Panadol Rapid. Because it can start to get to work in as little as 10 minutes. Panadol. That's my choice.
Tonight, Sam Neill in The Timeless Love Story.
You're a wondrous, necessary man, Dr.
Shivago. 8:30 tonight on Win.
Angel Flight is a wonderful Australian charity that takes people in need and flies them to specialist medical care. Hundreds of pilots across Australia donate their time, their skill and their planes, and Demazin donates $1 from every bottle of Demazin syrup sold. But we still need more. Providing free Angel flights doesn't come cheap. But then again, our cargo is priceless.
It's been a day of the 1%ers here at Subiaco on this Sunday afternoon. Troy Longmuir bobbing up in that third quarter for the Dockers, kicking 3 goals, giving Fremantle the lead with half an hour left. 7-8 to 6-12 the scoreline. Wayne Carey and Tyson Edwards each with 2 goals for the Crows. Pavlich, the chief ball winner for Fremantle, 25 touches. Hazelby 23, Mark Rasciuto with 28, Brett Burton 26 possessions for the Adelaide Crows, who did lead by as many as 17 points during that third term before the Dockers kicked the last 3 goals. A look there at the numbers, and as you would expect, the uncontested possession count high for the Fremantle Dockers as they're chipping it around, 25 extra marks as well. Aside from that, relatively even, in fact dead even for the centre clearances in the inside 50s. Not a lot more to read into it, just 30 minutes of desperate footy. That's what Gary Ayres is telling his troops. They are in dire need of a victory. So are a couple of other clubs who are in action today. We've got replays coming up on various stations, so if you don't want to know the score just yet, it's best to look away now. Let's check in downstairs with Michael Thompson. Michael, still pretty warm down there?
It is still warm, noticeably the Dockers spending the three-quarter time huddle in the shade, the Crows out in the sunshine. The message with the Crows pretty simple: regain control of that midfield and make sure they convert all of their opportunities. Simon Goodwin, that thigh, definitely won't be taking any further part in the game. The news not good too for Matthew Carr from the Dockers. His ankle has flared, so he won't play any more part in the game. Chris Connolly singled out. Sean McManus, not surprisingly, as an inspiration to the team, and Troy Longmuir. But the Dockers, the message to them once again pretty simple: make sure they utilise Troy Simmons.
Yep, good work, Michael. Thank you for that. As we have a look at some of the matchups there, Parker alongside of Welsh. The current live betting semaphore to us on the scoreboard. The Dockers $1.95, Adelaide $1.75. Someone told me you had a bet on a footy game once, Jared. What would you think of those odds?
Well, I'd be surprised if your average fan doesn't think that the local side would be the favourite here. I mean, I think the Crows can go on and win because their forward line really didn't get a lot of opportunities, but Carey and Edwards look dangerous up forward. But if you're going to have a bet, you'd have to back the locals.
Final term underway. Sandilands down to Headland. Handball. Hazelby clearance the Dockers. Inside 50. Bounce important. Henschel stands up. Well done. Gets it onto McLeod. A quiet third term. Advantage play on. The Crows win the free. Edwards to Gallagher. Steadies. Surveys his options. Measures it with the left to McGregor. Off hands. Good spoil by Hadrill. Grover the clean-up. Headland now. Kick smothered by Smart. McGregor, does it open the door for Adelaide? It might. Rasciuto there. Another free to the Crows. Advantage play on. Rasciuto to Carey. One out in a wrestle. McFarlane goes to ground. Hayden charging through. Will he head for the boundary line? Steadies. Going to keep it in play. And why not? Hazelby is there. Kicks towards the wing. 2-on-2 contest. Massey from behind, battering it down, feeding it out for Rashudo. Has Smart wide, goes to him. Smart hiding in the shadow there. Takes the mark. 55 out, drives it long, centering ball. Burton, the Birdman, got it!
He's just been unstoppable. He's been the one player that they haven't been able to get in control of. And they've come out of the blocks flying here, the Adelaide Crows. The bookmakers are pretty well spot on just in these early minutes.
It does have a ring about it of round 4, 2001 against Carlton at Optus Oval. 0-3 that day. Came out, had a stirring victory. Brett Burton, look at those numbers. Good afternoon's work. And now the important kick to put the Crows back in front. Close. Misses. Shaving the post. Believe it or not, it's their 5th poster for the afternoon. It halves the deficit.
Still, Brett Burton had a goal this season. Hadrell finds Walker right up against the boundary line. The Crows are finishing with the breeze in this final term, kicking to the city end. McFarlane, his work cut out with Wayne Carey today as well. Laconically puts it into the path of Hayden, who has to trap it around his body.
Good player is Roger Hayden. Just keeps getting better.
Loves to take on the opposition. Switch of players on again. Walker in space. Drives long in the direction of Hazelby. Did well. Rashudo was closing fast.
He's one of the best marks overhead for his size in the game.
A long ball. Stingline at the front. She showed some courage there to get back and take that mark. He would have heard the troops coming.
No, he hasn't gone yet.
Every kick, every possession vital, albeit with some 17 minutes still left on the clock. Edwards back to Bassett now at the 50. Methodically, they work it to half back. Nathan Bassett, as has been the norm this afternoon, called to get it on to Gallagher. And the Crows building very slowly, but they have control. Now the run comes from Bassett. He can go. Looks out wide. McGregor with a task here opposed to Hadrell. Was always going to be a tough assignment. And the Dockers defender gets his way. A throw-in to take place with some 16.5 minutes remaining in this last quarter.
Waterhouse, Cook, Shammer and Carr on the bench.
It looks like Pavlich is now going to be responsible for Burton and vice versa.
Holding on. Docker free. Sandilands will take it. Clark not impressed. Headland to Pavlich. About to be caught from behind. Hurries his kick to the outer wing. It's effective. McFarlane taking Carey down the ground. Goes long to the hot spot. Farmer will rove. Simmons is there as well. Polak, ball knocked wide. Farmer, can he get both the ball? No, he can't. Bell there. Pushed in the back, was he? Yes! Free kick to Bell. Next to the goal square. It's been hard to win a free at times today. That one, on first glance, appeared pretty definite. You be the judge. Well, from that angle, nearly to the side. Bell should kick the goal and extend the Dockers' lead. He does.
This is no place to have teeth sensitive to hot and cold, unless you have a secret. Colgate Sensitive with potassium nitrate combines unbeatable relief from the pain of sensitive teeth with complete Colgate care and a great fresh taste. Colgate Sensitive protects against pain, gives me fresh breath and healthy white teeth. It's a pleasure to use it every day. Colgate Sensitive. No other toothpaste offers better protection against sensitivity.
Is critical.
Peter Bell, his 3rd goal for the season, averaging 30 possessions in the opening 2 rounds, down on that slightly this afternoon, but nonetheless, that kick as vital as any he's had this season so far. Sandilands, Headland runs onto it, pumps Fremantle forward. Medhurst wrestles and pushes his man away with consummate ease. And poor Medhurst will shoot on goal from about 25 metres out, slight angle.
Good knock there from the big galloping lamppost. He got it forward to Headland. And he kicked it beautifully. Just put it to the left-hand side of Medhurst and allowed him to use his strength. And he's really bulked up over summer.
A couple of goals perhaps to start the final term for Fremantle. I spoke way too soon. And it slides across the face as we head downstairs to Michael Thompson.
Thanks, Mark. James Begley off with cramp at the moment. He's getting treatment. Wouldn't be surprised to see a few other players go down with the hot conditions.
Rose electing to go short, McLeod. With a half-second to spare. Now, geez, gone very wide for Stengline. Just holds off Walker. Getting some leniency in the marking contest today, the man playing behind. Stengline on half-back, the Crows trailing by 8 points.
A couple of spares in the middle, but staying wide.
Stevens won't get here. Medhurst wants to be more precise this time. Inside the 50 he goes. He's not more precise. Stengline back from whence it came. They might try and affect the switch here. This is Henschel going wide. Burton acrobatically takes the mark in the shadows of the three-tiered stand. Goes to Gallagher. Goes to Bassett. Now, where will he go? The important ball now. Biglands. Whoops. Oh! Goodness gracious! That's one of the biggest dog-argues you'll see. Headland might have turned it over.
I don't think so. That was...
He's reported. It's a forearm.
He's reported him, as you heard.
Very blatant.
You heard it on report, and ouch. We'll see you tomorrow. No need for us to add anything. The picture's telling the story. Graham Pollack is the man who's been poleaxed. Brett Bigland's name is in the book. And this is going to take a couple of minutes for everyone to regroup.
Jared, we talk about instinctive football, players coming at you without trying to mount any sort of defence for Brett Biglands. It's a lot easier sitting on the outskirts watching an incident take place.
Well, I think what's pretty clear is, despite the hoots and the boos around the crowd, Brett Bigland's history says he doesn't deliberately do that sort of thing. That was a fend-off that went horribly wrong, and he may well pay the price for it. It's been reported. That's up to the tribunal. But I don't think anybody would try to make the case that it was deliberate.
Let's talk about where the game's going to go from here now as we see Headland. That was afterwards, and Des is lucky that he didn't turn it over there. I guess it was only the ferocity of the first instance that ensured that Des didn't turn that over, and you see Walker coming in to push his teammate away. What happens here now, Jared? The Crows blew an early chance in this quarter when Brett Burton shot at goal, hit the post. They've now fallen behind 8 points. Gary Ayres is no doubt feverishly talking to his coaching staff at the moment. What do they do?
Well, I think they've just got to maintain their cool, to be honest. I think the Dockers have got an opportunity. They've had one and blown that. They've got the momentum at the moment. They've got to withstand that momentum, get the ball back up at the other end of the ground and start to get some score on the board. But right now they've got to win the ball back. Medhurst has given them a chance, the Crows. Pavlich has now got the footy. They've got a very crowded forward line. Doubt whether going long is an option. They're going to have to try and work it up the ground.
Interesting there that the umpires had to go and tell Peter Bell and Matthew Pavlich about the report, because obviously Graham Pollack's in no fit state to actually give a reasonable answer.
He's taken off. Now all 36 players just about in the Dockers attacking half here. Some of them sought the shadows during the course of that break. It was a lengthy one. Pavlich is going to load it up and drive it long to the hot spot at the top of the square, hoping for a mark. Medhurst! Oh, boy!
He's paid it.
One of the marks of the year!
He has paid it. Talk about controversy. This is a huge decision.
A pack mark under pressure, and Paul Medhurst will line up for his second. Stengline saying, hey, how about the man in front? of AA Monday afternoon, Jared. KG Cornsey lines open now. Medhurst to extend the lead to 14 points. He's missed it again! Oh, unbelievable!
When he gets the tape back, I mean, it's a bad miss. But when he gets the tape back, you just see that his weight is not over his support foot. His posture just needs really addressing because he's leaning back and he's rotating and he's just not getting any momentum going to where the ball wants to go.
Graham Pollack on the bench just being asked if he thinks it's Christmas or Easter. I don't think he's quite sure at the minute. Henschel to bring the ball back into play. A long ball, a good spot up. Going to ground, free kick. It'll go to Sting. Line advantage will be paid to Schuback. On to John Cock. Walker runs him down. Crows mount their attack. Trying to trap it was McFarlane. Ball locked beneath a couple of players. Let's go downstairs again to Michael Thompson.
Clinton, Graham Pollack, conscious, is talking to the training staff. He tried to get up first, then collapsed again. They helped him to his seat. The good news is he is certainly conscious of what is going on around him at the moment, but obviously pretty sore.
Smart to John Cock. Back to the veteran. Off a step. Nigel Smart gets the Adelaide Crows back within a kick. He's got two. Game on at Subiaco.
Buy a car like this and you'll attract a bit of interest. But buy what's in here and get 36 months interest-free on a new TV. Pay no interest for 36 months on a new fridge or a new washing machine. And because Radio Rentals is now big in furniture, you can get 36 months interest-free on a new bed, lounge suite or dining setting. SA's biggest electrical retailer is now big in furniture, so you can get everything you need with 36 months interest-free. Now that's big.
Nigel Smart with 2 goals today and 115 on his career. Graham Pollack, I think this afternoon is done. 3 points the difference. Simmons intended for Cook. Walker. Cook again to half forward. Farmer. Too far out to score. He's going to go long to the top of the square. Big one's getting back to fill the gap. Medhurst nearly. Bassett got into him. Free kick Medhurst. Now is Paul game enough to have a shot at goal on an angle? I reckon he will.
You can't turn on him.
It's the right decision. Now he's in his mind. He's just got to go back and put this one home. Can't turn on him was the message coming from the umpire.
Well, what will Paul Medhurst do here? Their leading goal kicker last year with 50. Plays on the right. Misses again. Paul Medhurst afternoon. 1 goal, 3 and 2 out of bounds. 3 behinds this quarter.
Well, that was clearly just, I guess, confirmation that he has no idea about the principles of his goal kicking, because under pressure he didn't have anything to go back and rely upon.
Yeah, sure.
He had just lost total confidence.
Henshaw, McLeod, risky, Longmuir crunches Gallagher. Medhurst here, elects to go short to Waterhouse, and he will line it up from 45 metres out.
Well, it's a great performance by, was it Pavliks that crashed?
Longmuir.
That was a great performance by whoever it was. And that young man was unfortunately underneath it.
Waterhouse now, the recipient of that. Free kick count, if you're wondering, there in the city of Churches. Dockers 16, Adelaide 7. Waterhouse poised for a very important kick. And the pressure put on him at the start of the year by Chris Connolly, who said a pivotal point in his career because the team's got better and there's not a lot of options in the team. In many ways, he has to create his own spot in the team. This to put the lead to 10 points halfway through the final term. He should kick it, and does.
A Grand Slam in the UK. A Grand Slam in France. A
Grand Slam in Australia. The fully equipped Sorrento four-wheel drive, now available in manual at $35,950. It's another Grand Slam from Kia.
So Clive Waterhouse, a cult following at the Fremantle Dockers. Such a bad run with injuries, but made his mark here this afternoon. Perfect bounce back in the middle. The Crows must respond. Sandilands. Hazelby is going nowhere.
Goss is just dropping the ball, Sandilands. A big punch would be handy. A bit of space, but you...
Stop it. Wait till I go on the bounce, okay? We ready, mate? Both of you, I'm going to stop it, all right?
It's Justin Madden, the Crows. Ruck coach.
He might have a bit to do with the Fremantle Dockers by looking at this. Sandilands takes Gerald's advice, slaps it into space. Bell with a couple to beat, pushes it forward. Weight of numbers tells out for Adelaide. McLeod to the outer side. Rashudo in fringe. Free kick. The Adelaide skipper, who has literally led from the front this afternoon. They do need somebody to stand up in the next 10 minutes. They trail by 10. Centering kick. Burton. A lot of chat coming from, well, the umpires, really. Across to Rashudo, who accepts. Delivers nicely to Carey, just pitches in front. Charges at Bell. Releases. Sting line taken to ground. And a couple of former Kangaroos teammates. Well, they're top hombres. It won't worry either party.
Remember this game last year, it was Bell with a tackle with 20 seconds to go that saved the day for the Dockers. Nearly did it again there.
On that occasion, Mark Rashudo was involved.
Matthew's going to give away a free kick.
Yeah. Intriguing battle between these ruckmen. Clark. Hacked out of there by Riley. That covered 15 in my mind. Burton, if he held it. Pavlich somehow got it onto his boot. And McLeod, the Crows, looking ominous. Crowded forward line, though. Desperately need to conjure something.
Carey around the back, he's in space.
And he'll take it on his chest. Terrific spot up by Andrew McLeod, and Wayne Carey, who has given Luke McFarlane some problem this afternoon, has got 2 goals, 3 next to his name, but this is where he has to stand up and be counted.
He'll kick it, Jared, won't he?
Yeah, I think he probably will.
Plenty of time for the Crows, it has to be said. Right behind this kick. Just pulled it to the left-hand side.
Set me up, Clinton.
Talk about not your weekend missed opportunities. 2 goals, 4 to the King. And the margin inside 10 points, back to 9 now.
Well, inaccuracy will cost them. They booted 11-17 last week. 7-14 now. They've kicked just 28 goals so far collectively in their 3 games. Still time, though. Hadrell taking plenty of it. Has to go long to a contest with no options short. Burton in front, has a good leap about him. Couldn't quite bring it down. Gallagher, Riley. Something out of nothing for Adelaide. Towards Welsh in front. Off hand behind. Peppering away, though.
You get the feeling the Crows aren't quite done with yet. They've got something left in the tank.
Yeah. Momentum just swinging around for the moment. Bell to Parker. Margin back to 8 points. Shane Parker takes on Carey. Wide for Walker. Short for Sandilands. Good movement to midfield. Chip over the top, not so impressive. Longmuir wrestled out of it. McManus emerges. Medhurst slipped. Bassett off the ground. Was that 15? Yes, and the mark significantly is paid to Schubert. Just his 3rd game of AFL footy. And now the young man has to be precise here. Goes short for McLeod. And McLeod darts away. Will he be the man to lift? Well, that's surprising. Lost the footy. Hasn't been his half. Now fighting against several Dockers. McManus to Farmer. Kicks to half forward. Loose men everywhere. Medhurst. He'll kick it this time, will he? Over to the goal square. Simmons. Oh, no! Oh, boy, you can't believe it.
They've stuffed it up.
Just a handball would have done.
Oh,
it just didn't need the kicks.
Well, the Dockers of old.
Yeah, it's the Keystone Cops back.
It was reminiscent. Take a deep breath. How did we recover? How did the Dockers recover? Bassett didn't. He lost control. Hayden charging through. The Crows with another opportunity through Stingline. They're still in this game. Inside 50, Carey the target. No whistle. Grover mops up, weaves a passage, spots a man. Walker accepts.
I reckon the Adelaide Dockers defence would be entitled to draw a demarcation line across the middle of the ground, and if they do lose this, just say we'll blame them.
Yep.
Because they have just chopped up too many opportunities.
You don't want to say it on this weekend, but they haven't put the nails in the coffin.
I don't want to say it.
High ball, Sandilands, Hudson, important spoil. Waterhouse, a long way from home. Grover to Bell, across to Parker. Plenty of possessions. Control back now with Fremantle. Walker and Waterhouse involved yet again. Winding down the clock. Clive Waterhouse. Unpredictable at best.
Medhurst is pushed out across the half-forward line. Chris Connolly has sent the message. Get him out of there.
To a contest. Troy Longmuir put his body on the line. Camped in front was Headland. A good ball inside the 50. Bassett, importantly, looks for the boundary. Farmer. Acrobatically. Nothing coming of it. A boundary throw in about 25 out from Fremantle's goal. As Gerard suggested, perhaps one more goal might tie this game up.
9 points their lead, deep in attack. Sandilands dangerous, down to Simmons, goes without it. Biglands, Hayes will be the steal, and he's hit the post. Cannot put them away. Not without their chances, though. 10 points is the margin.
And I think we're seeing reasons why, if anybody does bet on football, it's a very much a gamble.
Edwards long from the kick-in. Stengline pushed out of it, will win the free. Advantage play on Henschel. McGregor's got a lot of space to lead into. He's got Hadrell to beat here. Has got Stevens leading. Stevens marking. Gee, it's an open forward line. Carey the lead. Stevens to him. One-on-one. Carey in front. McFarlane the spoil. The king. Is there a touch of magic left? 45 out. Kicks wide. Out on the full. Two-5 and now one out of bounds to add to the equation, although that was intended for Welsh as well. Still heaps of time remaining for the Crows to try and pinch their first win of the season. Parker gets the hurry along, will keep it wide, hugging the boundary. Stevens, good grab. Now, can he find someone? No. Hadrell picks it off. Bell, Walker, and the Dockers can eke out a few more precious seconds off the clock. There's the top 5 by way of rankings. Not a good kick. Opens the door. Messi off one step to the goal square. Carey had it punched away by McFarlane, again doing brilliantly now. Glad they kept him on him. And Parker with a good kick to Longmuir.
Got Headland just over the top with no man. He can... Oh, gee. They don't want to win this.
Massey gathers the loose ball to Gallagher. The Crows can hurt them the other end. A loose ball, 35 out. McFarlane wheels around to Hayden. Not much to go to. Oh. Left foot kick, pops it up. Grover, which way will it bounce? Deary me.
Well, you've got Andrew McLeod just cruising through midfield. He's not running that well. He's hobbling as we speak. I think they need his magic up near the goals. They need to find a goal out of something. There isn't any genuine opportunities coming.
In the heart of the Adelaide attacking zone, Sandilands won it down. John Cock is there, so too Hazelby. Free kick. Hazelby will get it, but there wasn't a lot in it. Had the better of the umpiring this afternoon, the Fremantle Dockers. Short to Pavlich. And with 4 minutes left, still we've seen clubs do this with a margin similar to this. It's backfired spectacularly. Matthew Pavlich. leading possession getter with 29 for the Fremantle Dockers this afternoon. Cunningham told to go, back to Pavlich, off his step, floats a kick, Clive flies from behind. Roving brilliantly was Hazelby. McManus, it opens up for Fremantle now. Oh, terrible bounce for Tyson Edwards. Farmer flips it to his own advantage, doesn't take control, now he does. Surely we've got a goal coming up. Off to Waterhouse, in turn 2 Longmuir, and the Dockers will get the chocolates on this Easter Sunday.
To make Street's Blue Ribbon ice cream, we start by pouring in the richest, creamiest real buttermilk. Then we add the crunchy biscuit pieces and the rich chocolate flavour that gives Arnott's Tim Tam their irresistible taste. To create new Street's Blue Ribbon Tim Tam. Street's Blue Ribbon, the cream of ice creams. Now with Arnott's Tim Tam and Arnott's Mint Slice varieties. Come on, treat yourself.
On the winners. Longmuir with 4 straight. Impressive. The rest of the team, a total of 6-13. Massey, meanwhile, coming off via the blood roll. Nursing his chin. Smart making his way back out. So 16 points is the Dockers' lead. And it's their biggest of the afternoon. A 3-goal-to-1 final term. 3:29 to go. So Crows need a set of clearance and a goal in a hurry. We saw the Essendon West Coast match last night with a remarkable finish. Docker fans getting vocal. Docker players winning possession. Hazelby inside 50. McLeod. Bassett. Wide is Rashudo taking the mark. A bounce. Will he go long? Target is McGregor. Good spoil, Hadrill. Riley into the back, giving away a free.
Woodsies, next side.
Woodsies make it Hayden, in fact. Umpire, perhaps confusing him with Dion Woods. Hayden is going to go back to Des Headland. And now they've got some loose men. Parker, he can chip it over the top to Cook or go himself. Has a bounce, kicks to the wing. Couple of Dockers there. McFarlane.
His athleticism has really proved to be a dominant force in the last quarter.
Chip to half forward. Henshaw getting in front of Cook, taking the mark. 2.5 minutes to play. Dockers looking to go 2-1. Gallagher to Smart. Is there time, though, for a Crows counter-punch? Wobbly talk to half forward. McGregor, the 50 is unguarded. And a chance Gallagher can run on. Can he finish it? 55 outer legs to go. Short Stengline. Got it. There's time. 45 out he'll kick from with 2 minutes to go. Clock is stopped at 2:05. Tyson Stengline has the footy. Has had 20 touches today. This his first kick at goal. One thing proven this weekend is don't count teams out. What an important kick this is. Clock running now. Stengline, if they're to have any chance, cannot afford to miss. To make the margin, 10 points. Well, I think it's fair to say they don't deserve it now. Another behind, 7 goals, 16.
Been an incredible start to the year for missed opportunities across the board.
Yep.
Just lack of conversion from gettable shots.
23 scoring shots apiece, but that margin, 15 points. Minute 47 on the clock, and it would take some either brilliant football from Adelaide or some pretty wayward stuff from the Fremantle Dockers. Bell finds Grover. In the back pocket. Fremantle Dockers winding down the clock. Chipping over the top to Cook, who's been pretty good for Fremantle this afternoon, playing his first game of the season, 21 possessions. Crossed out to Shammer. In turn to Pavlich, or in fact it might even be McFarlane, who is quite content to go back. And there's not much that we've done here, Gerard, for the Adelaide Crows, except to man up, but they haven't done that.
It's pretty tough getting the ball from anybody if they're running backwards into space.
Cook to Hazelby. And no urgency at all from the Fremantle Dockers. They realise this game is in their keeping.
I think the problem is that the Crows realise that too.
And so Byron Shammer will wind it down, and as he does that, I'll pass the baton as well.
Thank you, Mark. Pavlich on the outer wing. 31.5 minutes gone, half a minute remaining, and the Dockers are going to improve to 2-1 ahead of a big game against Collingwood at the Telstra Dome next Sunday. The Crows still winless to host St Kilda. Clark off hands, this is Gallagher. Lays it back for Bassett. Down to 15 seconds. Carey at centre half back. One of those inaccurate Crows today. Riley on the attacking side of the wing. If he can kick it towards the 50, they might get a late shot at goal. Johncock goes short, and McGregor's got it. It'll be a kick for percentage only because the Dockers protect their unbeaten home record. You know what? He'll probably kick this one. The Crows for the season are converting at 37%, 28 goals, 47. McGregor to try and improve that slightly with the last kick of the game. And I guess it'll look better in the paper tomorrow if it's a single-figure margin. Kick from 49 metres out, and now they kick truly. An anticlimactic finish at Subiaco in front of 32,575. And right now, they're predominantly happy fans because the Fremantle Dockers have 2 wins and 1 loss. The Crows remain winless. Here's Michael Thompson.
Thanks, Clinton. Troy Longmuir, congratulations. An invaluable win, but it took a while coming in the end.
Yeah, it certainly did. It was a bit of a dogfight all day, but we were able to sort of run over the top of it in the end, and it's great.
Started on the bench, you must be delighted. 4 goals, you really had an impact when you came on.
Yeah, I guess that's my job, coming off the bench, trying to kick a few where I can. I got a cheap one at the end there, but I'll take it.
7, Clinton said in the call before the game, 7 times an emergency. You're looking to really establish yourself in this forward line now, though, you know, full time, all the time.
Yeah, hopefully. Look, we've got a talented forward line, and as you say, Justin got dropped for the weekend's game, so you know we've all got to be on our toes, and hopefully cement a spot there sometime.
You got a big one coming up next week.
Yeah, it's a real big one on the road. Hopefully we get over the top of it, but yeah.
Troy Longmuir, 4 goals, congratulations.
Thanks so much.
Troy Longmuir with Michael Thompson, all of these goals coming in the second half. Peter Bell, leader as always, had 21 touches today, had a couple of good battles in the midfield. Pavlich with 32 possessions overall, Hazelby 31, Red Biglands with some things to think about during the course of the week.
You wonder what those 2 players were talking about, and as you said, Gerard, I don't think that Red Biglands is that sort of player, so, but it didn't look good.
No, it didn't look good, but there wasn't any malice in it, and I think the way that the Dockers reacted suggested that they, too, were feeling for Graham Pollock, who went down, but with the exception of Des Headland, there wasn't any remonstration as if it was a purposeful king hit.
Touch of Geelong about the Crows right now. Went into state, needed a better performance in round 3, got it, but didn't get the points.
Well, they did everything other than win, though, didn't they? They really put a floor under their performance. It was a competitive showing by them, and sometimes you've got to, you know, get close and lose before you get close and win. I think that's what they'll be backing on throughout the week. There's a lot of positives there. As speaking of positives, the boys in purple go out and see the fans.
Yeah, Luke McFarlane. Chris Connolly kept McFarlane on Carey. He'd be happy with the way that turned out. He missed, though, the world record for the interchange. Wonder what he thinks about that. Here's Michael Thompson with Chris.
Chris Connolly, the Purple Army, in fine voice at the moment. It wasn't pretty at times, but it certainly was an invaluable win.
No, look, it's arguably the worst game I've been involved in from a coaching point of view, but both teams made a lot of errors which are uncharacteristic of both teams, and maybe just the importance of the game in terms of the 4 points created that, I'm not sure, but we can play a lot better than that, as I'm sure Adelaide can.
Just quickly, how's Graham Pollock?
Not sure yet, and the same with Matthew Carr, but it's terrific that the other players can get on with the job, and we got the 4 points, and we'll just focus on Collingwood, a big game next week.
Well done.
Thank you.
Well, they win another close game. They won 3 by less than a goal last year and now won by 9 points.
Well, it's always been a topic of a fair bit of discussion from a serious perspective, the issue of rotation. And once again, his side has proven that they are able to run matches out. Now, Chris Connolly will argue that that is the reason for his rotations, and he's got the score on the board.
Conditions in Perth particularly beneficial to moving players on and off the bench, so that has been something that Chris Connolly has no doubt done consciously over the last year or so.
50 his final total. Adelaide 38 rotations off the bench.
They qualify.
Yeah, he'll be off to Athens. Well, the AFL tried to ban the lap of honour for clubs, but there's no stopping the Dockers here this afternoon. They're pretty happy. It looks like they're just going to enjoy things out there for a while.
I reckon one of the great positives is having a look at the way that Roger Hayden continues to develop across that half-back line. He just gets more confident with each match. He's got good skills, good courage.
Even if the umpires don't know his name.
Well, Woodsy will do, but Roger's really improving. I think it was a match where they had plenty of high possession winners, but it just needed that the surety of skills, and I think it was Paul Hazelby added that surety. A couple of times Pavlich's kicks just lifted them up a little bit. Des Headland, I think, found the footy a lot more in the second half. But there's no doubt that the inspiration at times when the game was heavily in dispute came from Sean McManus. He made 1 or 2 errors early, going to ground in particular. But, boy, golly, his chasing and tackling was first class. And I reckon that would be the #1 topic of discussion from Chris Connolly throughout the week, other than goal kicking. Or lack thereof.
Yeah, 18-29, the combined tally, with half a dozen sprayed out of bounds on the full. Remembering the Dockers trailed by 17 points midway in that third term, so it certainly is a come-from-behind victory here as they gather for the singing of, well, it's Jared's favourite song, the Fremantle club song.
Well, as Chris Connolly continues to say, at least it's Australian.
Yeah, that's true. It's true.
Although
if you
that's
haven't heard it before,
too.
yeah, listen to the tune of the Volga Boatman or something. If you haven't heard it before, well, stand by. It's going to be exciting.
Hard to get 4 points, and we got 4 points and sing. Righto, Sean!
This AFL telecast, proudly brought to you by OG Robertson Co., your driving future, and Eddie's. Live it, love it, I like it.
Starting Easter Monday, Kmart is cutting a massive 15% off store-wide. That's 15% off favourite brands like Revlon, Kodak, Bonds and Sanyo. Some exclusions apply. But hurry, this offer ends Wednesday. Kmart, cutting the cost of living.
Oh, totally dry.
Hey, Dad, what about over that?
With 2.5-ton towing, V8 power and cross-track all-wheel drive. Go where no ute has gone before.
Well, sir, there is water on Mars, but we didn't find it.
All-wheel drive Holden Crewman Cross 8. Just launched.
Those damn Aussies.
Look, I'm busy enough as it is without having to do things twice. But before I switched to Sidect and U-Guard, that's exactly what I had to do. I'd have to drench and then vaccinate. The Sidect and U-Guard is a drench and vaccine all in one. That means half the work for me. And Sidect and U-Guard doesn't stop there. It keeps on working for at least 21 days against Osteotargia, which means cleaner pastures and heavier lambs.
Sidect and U-Guard, long-acting worm control and vaccine in a single shot.
Buy a car like this and you'll attract a bit of interest. But buy what's in here and get 36 months interest-free on a new TV. Pay no interest for 36 months on a new fridge or a new washing machine. And because Radio Rentals is now big in furniture, you can get 36 months interest-free on a new bed, lounge suite or dining setting. SA's biggest electrical retailer is now big in furniture, so you can get everything you need with 36 months interest-free. Now that's big.
At Woolworths, we're bringing you great weekly specials, like 100 to 135 gram continental pasta and sauce range, 98 cents, save 86 cents. And 6-pack Kleenex toilet tissue, $3.98, save 38 cents. So save this week at Woolworths.
You're sweet and kind of hot, but I found something even better.
Sorry, but I need something more. In here, where it really matters. Look, you're never around, and I need something I can depend on. Something nice and regular.
Whatever you're into, you'll find it in KFC's range of tempting twisters, with a fresh salad and 2 tender real breast fillet crispy strips, all wrapped in a soft tortilla. KFC Twisters, twist it your way.
New Holden Adventurer, packed with luxury features, V8 power and Holden's cross-track all-wheel drive system. Australia is Adventure Island.
Starting Easter Monday, Kmart is cutting a massive 15% off store-wide. That's 15% off favourite brands like Revlon, Kodak, Bonds and Sanyo. Some exclusions apply. But hurry, this offer ends Wednesday. Kmart, cutting the cost of living.
Yeah, the music there, much like the game this afternoon, struggling for rhythm. In the end, the Dockers 10-13, beating the Adelaide Crows 8-16. Close at every change, but along the way there were some swings and roundabouts. Significantly, the Crows by 17 points midway in the third term. The Dockers, though, through Troy Longmuir, kicked the last 3 goals of the third term, and then a 3-2 final term. And they go on to win by 9 points. Gerard Healy back with me. The Crows are obviously going to rue their inaccuracy.
They would, and they'd be, entitled to believe that if they kick those goals, particularly the first one after three-quarter time, that things may well have been different. You've got to assume the ascendancy with momentum, and if you can get that momentum early, then you find extra run in the legs, and they just threw it away. But Paul Medhurst had a little bit to answer for it too.
He did. One of their former captains was a star today. Sean McManus, here he is with Michael Thompson.
Thanks, Clinton. Sean, you were just saying you're pretty tired after that one.
Yeah, it was pretty warm out there, and they're a hard team to play against, Adelaide. They've got champions across the board, and yeah, pretty glad it's over, I can tell you.
You really put together an inspirational third quarter. Tell us about that. I mean, you really seemed to lift the side. They were struggling there in the first half.
Yeah, I think I got involved in a few bits of play that were pretty good, and laid some tackles and ran hard and got myself involved, and I don't think it was quite the cornerstone of the team getting back in the game, but everyone then picked up in different areas, whether they chased harder or tackled harder or kicked the ball a bit straighter. So it was a combined effort in that third quarter and certainly got us back in the game.
Where do you see yourself at in your career? I mean, you're in the, dare I say, at the twilight of your career. You seem to be playing your best football.
Yeah, you say it. Yeah, no, it's been great. I missed a few years with my knee, so I guess those 2 years, maybe I've still got a few more years to play because of that, missing that time. Chris has been great for the team. Our team's improving. I want to be a part of it, and I want to keep improving. So if I can do that, then I can keep playing in the team and keep playing a positive role.
Any win's a good win, but it wasn't pretty football at times out there.
I can imagine people at home would have been just thinking this is the worst game of footy of all time, but I think sometimes you got to look at the opponent and know that Adelaide, in the situation, they were going to be looking at 0-3, and for a team that's looking to finish in the top 4, and have got the players like they have, you can name it, all their entire team across the board. Anyone at home would know all of them. So they came out firing. They played well to their game plan, I guess, and yeah, we missed a few targets and probably looked a bit dodgy at times, but we clawed our way back and finished off in front. So all in all, I guess you can say we played a great team, who have been a great team for 10 years almost, and we're lucky to get over the line, but we did, so that's the main thing.
2-1, Collingwood next week. That's going to be a tough one.
It is. It's going to be great, though. It's going to be able to play at Telstra Dome in front of 40,000 Victorian screaming Magpie fans. It's going to be a great opportunity for us to get out there and show that we're improving and we're heading in the right direction.
All right, just finally, you mentioned the heat, Subiaco Oval. Definitely an advantage. Any side coming up with it from Adelaide or Melbourne or Brisbane, the heat, the size of the ground?
I think so. I think when we play here, we've got our crowd go absolutely bananas, and when we get involved in the game, they really get behind us, and that really adds to it. The ground's bigger, beautiful blue skies out here today. All those things count for a little bit, but you still got to go out there and perform, and to our credit, in the second half we did that.
Sean McManus, congratulations on an excellent game.
Thanks very much, Ty.
He'll play his 150th game next week. That'll be our viewer poll question tomorrow. Was it the worst game of footy of all time?
Oh, I think you're being a bit harsh. There was some poor goal kicking, but other than that, I thought the one-on-one battles were fantastic.
Yeah, some good entertainment value, some good one-percenters as well. Hope you enjoyed it around Australia on this Sunday afternoon. We had some fun watching it, and the end result is that the Fremantle Dockers have posted an impressive victory, 10-13 to 8-16, our final.
This has been another presentation from Nine's Wide World of...